Morning.
We are now.
You're talking.
I do want to say this. You guys here, and of course everybody out there. Thank you so much for, as always, the overwhelming birthday wishes yesterday, which do make me a little bit manic. Because on Facebook, you, for example, you get
you're old.
You get you generally get a notice of somebody's birthday.
Yes.
Is it? And then, it provides you a little money. So Facebook's where you really get them. So last night, I was just going like I have to reply to everyone. Now it's not a long reply, but thank you.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's 200.
That's what I'm saying. There were a lot.
Yeah.
Like and not because
Jason, 200 people wish me happy.
not because we're awesome, but just we have a lot of Facebook friends.
We got a lot of fans.
Fans only.
So the OnlyFans. Anyways, thank you to all of you.
But do you ever? I'm curious to know your thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be appreciated. Thank you. Much love. I don't know what. But then there's someone that you go, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Third grade.
Yes.
What's up,
Exactly.
Jimmy?
Right.
How's the family? Remember that? And then it's like, well, Dave just wrote. Well, thank you to me.
So that's the thing. So you're talking about comments.
Yes.
I'm talking about Facebook. They come over as instant messages because.
Oh, well, that's different.
Well, so
because then it's going directly to them.
I had to block the ability a long time ago for people to tag me and it would post on my page because it turned into an ad stream. Everybody was like, "Hey, my bar's opening tonight," and they'd tag me. Yeah. Come on down, and then my whole page was nothing but ads. So now you can't post on my page ever.
It's just like your radio show.
Thank you. So except I'm not getting paid for that one. So get the messengers, and that's the great thing because nobody can see what I'm posting back.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was awesome. Left straight from here, went to the course, played. My brother came up from Benicia. We played golf, just the two of us. Then went straight to my mom and dad's, and it was so cool, man. It really was touching because my mom and dad aren't 20 anymore, but they're not, and they worked so hard. They did. They were preparing all day. This is a big event. They had the dinner I wanted. It's the same birthday dinner I ask for every year.
So this must be the time of the show, Jay, in the pre-show meeting that Dave brings it. Where's the?
So you're going to ask about the
eclair.
So you guys.
So this is the time.
You guys are going to ask about the chocolate eclair.
Yeah, perfect timing. Right to start the show.
Bad news, good news. The bad news is no chocolate eclair for either of you. Didn't bring any in. Now hold on. Whose birthday is the soonest between the two of you?
Jay.
I think mine.
Which is when?
October 18th.
Okay. So this is actually a conversation. This is actually a conversation.
Really?
This is a conversation at the family dinner last night. It truly was, because my mom heard that, and she's like, "Well, hey, and why don't you?" Here's the thing about the chocolate eclair my mom makes: you have to refrigerate it because she pours hot frosting on top, hot chocolate frosting.
Okay, we have a refrigerator.
And spreads it, and then she has to refrigerate it to melt it. Once it's brought out and opened, it has a very finite shelf life. Maybe a couple of days. It starts to water up a little bit, melt. So here's what she said, because you want the first experience to be the right one. So
we're coming over.
So yours is the next one. So she's making a chocolate eclair for your birthday,
really,
specifically for me to bring in, and you'll know it because there won't be any
left.
Right? There won't be any finger mark. It will be a
pristine,
a virgin birthday eclair, and I will be bringing in the whole casserole dish, and we will. The bad news is you got to wait a couple months.
That's fine.
Oh my God! The good news is for me is that my sister and I call this eclairs.
You've never been so happy for my birthday, have you?
I have it.
Happy birthday, Jay.
I have it because so my birthday is August 11th. Eclair. My wife's is the 28th. Eclair. My daughter's is the 5th of October. Eclair. When's yours?
18th.
Eclair. My son's is October 30th. Eclair. And then my sister's December 19th. Eclair. And then,
dude, that's like
the long drought.
6.
I get 6 in like a 5-month period. Then the drought.
Well, the drought's good because then you can work it all off for 6 months.
So the bad news is I did. The good news is it really, truly was a topic. And
Jason, do you take back your single hand wave from the pre-show meeting?
I think Jason's pissed.
I am, because you had it last night, correct?
I did. I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it wasn't like she didn't make it.
No, she 100% made it.
And you were going to bring it in.
I was going to bring it in until she talked me out of it because she wants your experience to be the freshest eclair possible. So if you're mad, I can call her. You're mad at her. Because
no, I'm mad at you.
No, it sounds like
I think you talked her out of it.
Repeat after me. Barb, I hate you. Because that's what you're thinking.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, what did your dad get you over there? I'm not repeating that. Do you have the Moxie?
So what on earth is that?
So my dad is a huge fan, as am I, he got me into this, of the show CBS Sunday Morning. It's an old person show, I think, but it's got trumpets. It's pretty cool. It's got different stories.
It's got trumpets.
Yeah, the opening is like really nice. So anyways, I guess they did a story a couple weeks ago on this Moxie soda, which is like a main thing as
Who's
in the state.
Can?
That is
at least I saw that on one.
I don't know, but it says drinkmoxie.com. But he's like, she drink Moxie. Apparently this is a New England staple.
Really?
I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen it, but this is new. So my dad ordered. I mean, I opened the cardboard box, which had bubble wrap and 6 of these in there, because he'll get me something that's always kind of interesting. So,
we're doing this live on the radio. Here we go.
I didn't bring any eclair, but I brought in 1/6 of my dad's birthday present to me
for himself.
No, I've only got 2 glasses. Sucker.
Wow.
Not trying to say sucker, but something I can't say on the air.
I'll stick to my Celsius Live Fit Sparkling Kiwi Guava.
You guys are such D's. I'm not this is for the 2 of you.
Oh, why are we drinking it?
Because I've already tried it.
What?
Would you mind coming in here?
What's it like?
Okay.
Is it orange soda? Because it's in the orange can.
No, it's not. The best way I can describe this is a Pepsi and a really strong root beer had relations. They made a baby.
Pepsi beer.
Kind of
rootsy.
So here is,
or is it poot?
Here is Moxie. Cheers. Here's to you guys. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad. I would like to get your Jason smelling it. I mean, it's not poison.
It's like eclair.
I've never tasted anything.
It's not bad.
Jason.
What is that taste in there?
I think it's sarsaparilla. I think it's root beer stuff. I really do.
Let me try again.
Without the licorice.
Mm-hmm. It's great radio. Right?
There's a funny...
Yeah, I think it's ass.
It's very smooth.
I think it's carbonated ass, personally.
It does taste a little bit like Delaware.
Hi.
I'm getting Rhode Island.
We're in Delaware.
Like it's not terrible.
No, but it's also one of those.
You order that drink?
No, but exactly. I'm just saying it's not terrible. I'm trying to be nice.
I think it's one of those regional things that like they're super proud of. Like if Sacramento had its own soda.
I don't like it.
I don't like. I'm glad I tried it. Thanks, Dad. I'm glad I tried it.
Yeah, it's always worth trying.
It's already worth it for a radio segment.
Yeah, it's not. Remember the one you brought in that was.
Sorry.
It almost tasted like a float. What was that thing?
Oh, that was the Pepsi Nitro.
Oh, the Pepsi Nitro.
That was delicious.
Wasn't a fan.
Right.
You didn't like that?
No, I like
this
my
better?
Pepsi. No, I don't like this better, but I like my Pepsi to be crisp, not.
Yeah, right. Not flat.
Yeah.
I know we're running out of time. You want to see what my mom got me?
Yes.
Well, my dad too, but this is really
was it the aluminum foil?
What is
that? What?
Whoa! Yeah. Okay, against company policy.
I guess this is technically 11.
Remember that gesture I gave you before the show?
Yeah, you love it. Yeah, yes. What do you think of me not bringing me a eclair, Jason? Yeah, he's backing off. Look at this. This is a I don't even know what this is. It's a sweet. I mean, it just watch this. Watch this. Ready?
It'll never work. Wow.
Boom. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No joke. Man. No joke at all. Here, feel the feel.
Oh yeah. It's got some good weight to it.
You know, if you cook, if you spend any time in the kitchen, go ahead. Yeah. You just got to do that.
Yeah, but
you're afraid. Are you scared?
I don't want to play with knives.
Okay.
I just juggle them.
Okay. We got to go. All right. All I got to say is this. Invest in a good set of knives. Yeah. It's safer.
Yeah.
And it's more fun.
And who needs a shredder?
And who needs a little magnet?
The Ninja Turtles. Who would they fight if they didn't?
It's a great point. We have a, hold on.
Hold the sarsaparilla.
I messed up my thing. Sorry.
Now we don't know.
We have a great show for you. Niner preseason is finally here, and a college basketball legend stays put.
Hey,
it's Friday Fun and Games, 8:30 A fun show next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Listen, if you're getting a high quote about replacing your HVAC system or you feel it's the time to replace the system, contact American Energy, your second opinion partner. They're currently offering a $2,500 rebate with 0%, zero down financing options. That's the best deal out there for new HVAC equipment. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
I'm sure you've heard the phrase, let Safe Credit Union put you first. Well, that phrase is honest, genuine, and sincere. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Safe Credit Union. At Safe, you're not a number. You are part of a member-owned, community-focused family. Explore the benefits of saving, borrowing, and investing with a partner who puts you first. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
Let's do it. It's time for Leading Off. Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number 1.
I mean, it's playing. Is the what up on the computer?
49ers to victory here in Green Bay.
The golden leg of Robbie Gould going to an NFC championship game. The Packers 3 years in a row
Sounds great, baby.
now been put out.
I mean, I'm going to technically take the L for not having the volume turned up for half of that clip, but can I just say that's the first time I've ever had to turn up the computer. Who was sitting in the seat yesterday afternoon?
Rami.
Who's turning this down? It has to be Rami, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Maybe Rome.
Hey, we don't operate like this. This ain't Milwaukee, pal. Okay, this is Sacramento.
Wow.
Okay, this is big time. Actually, is Milwaukee bigger than Sacramento?
I think Milwaukee and Sacramento are literally like the same size market.
Are they?
Yeah.
We don't pot down the computer here.
This is California, baby.
We keep it potted up at all times.
Left coast, west coast,
Bring in a laptop.
Something.
There's Rami right
We
there.
have Rami on for a segment.
No.
Why?
Oh,
No.
show feud?
No.
Wow. Yeah, show feud.
I will tell you there is a little bit of a show feud, and Rami, unfortunately, is collateral damage.
Oh, wow.
Because honestly, I have mentioned no less than 4 or 5 times since Nick got here. You got to come on in the mornings. You're the out of towner. You're the new guy. Come on in. We'll do the secret handshake. We'll have some fun.
Come on in, carpetbagger.
I've mentioned it. I've mentioned it on the show. I've mentioned it in private. I've mentioned it on the phone. I've sent an email. I have asked 5 times. Hey, guys, and when I saw Rami out at the draft party,
yes.
I met him. And I said, hey, man, you got to come on the show. We'd love to have you on. Not once did I say, which deep down I was hoping the response would be, yeah, you guys got to come on our show too. Great. I'm a big fan of cross promotion, some different audience.
Yeah, if you love your sports.
You know what? Never. It's almost like when you invite somebody over for dinner and then you mention it again in a couple months.
You're fired up about this.
I am a little bit bothered by this.
It's the Moxie.
It is the Moxie of them too. Listen, we are the established veterans here. Of the city.
Years.
Oh, right. Combined, they're the noobs.
Yeah.
And although, the bosses too, or the boss, we're inviting. Hey, it's like you bring the casserole to the neighbor when they move in,
eclairs.
and they're like, great, thanks. And then they just kind of close the door and you never hear from them.
Yeah. Then trash day, you see it in there.
Right. Yes. I have opened the door numerous times and said, hey, welcome to our home. We want you to feel comfortable, and may we lend you our tens of listeners to help promote your program.
Just take your shoes off.
And you know what? Guess what? Nothing and nothing times 5.
Let me give it the try.
Well, then it's a whole different. Then if they do that,
really
then it's
bad.
like, well, Jay asked, and they came right on. Now it's a whole thing.
What if I come at it from, well, not so much with Nick, but with Rami, it's not me asking, it's me suggesting.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's like that's like when you force your kids to write
doing this.
Right. When they go over to an adult that gave them a present, they're like, "Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for the wonderful gift." And then they look at you like, "Am I done? Can I go play?"
Yeah.
You know it's not legit.
49ers preseason tonight.
You know what? Robbie Gold hit
Trey Lance for a series.
That'll be fun.
Good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have a week of breaking down Trey Lance's one series.
Me too. Just every throw.
But that completion was on.
It was amazing. You know what would be great is if he played for a series and it was a 3-and-out. And all it was quarterback runs. What was it? Or handoffs.
3 handoffs. Yeah, but did you see the deception?
The way he handed that ball, the way he stuck it.
You can see how it's going to set up a play later.
100%.
You can just hear it in his voice, the way he commands the center to hike the ball, that he really has a grasp on this offense, and he is truly the leader.
You know who doesn't do that? Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy G's handoffs were awful.
Hands off like an amateur. All right.
Sure.
All right. Cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Casey Kreider snaps it. Dillon puts it down. Gano's field goal is up, and it is good at the horn, and the Giants win the first preseason game for Brian Dable. A 23-21 final for the Giants.
Yeah. I watched some of it.
Early running for preseason game of the year.
Truly, the Giants win the game but don't cover. Yeah.
Is it a kickoff? A field goal off?
Oh, as far as like a walk-off?
Yeah.
Yeah. A kickoff. No.
But that's also how you start the game.
Boot off.
Boot off.
Boot off. I like boot
The
off.
Red-Nosed
That
Reindeer?
sounds like a last name. Like Charles Bootoff was the host of the game show back in the 19th. I don't know. Graham Gano went to Florida State. That's the
There we go.
How about that?
Fun fact, everybody today at the
Yeah.
water cooler, because everyone still goes to those.
Veteran.
To let everyone know that Graham Gano is a Florida State legend.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know. No good news is good. Good news. What was it? The
Gary Ganu.
Great Space Coaster.
Yes.
Oh wow, that is a
Amazing pull. Gary Ganu and the Canoes.
Yes. Where is that? I mean, why
is that a Muppet? What was he? A real?
I don't think he was a real Muppet, but he was like Muppet-ish. He was like the GoBot version of Muppets. You know, like he was just one of those. Interesting. You know, fun fact, since we just are all over the place with this preseason stuff.
What is that thing?
What is Gary Ganu?
Yes.
I gotta look it up.
You got to look him up.
Did you know? So you've seen the Muppets on the Muppet Show, and then Sesame Street and all that. But the only crossover Muppet between the two is Kermit. Kermit's the only crossover.
Piggy, was it? Miss Piggy?
Kermit.
All right. Check out Gary Ganu.
All right, Gary Ganu.
GNU.
Yeah, the Great Space Coaster needs to make a comeback, and everybody over 40 is going to know what's up. I don't know what that is.
Exactly, a little goatee.
Yeah, a goatee. Oh, I think he was like kind of a hippie. You got to remember, the Muppets came from weed, basically. Like that's
well, they didn't come from that necessarily.
Weed and psychedelics.
They were thought up that way.
Yeah, like imagine the smoke session that got by Frank Oz and Jim Henson and friends.
Imagine what we're going to get out of Chris Guerrero's show.
Oh God, seriously, you're going to get some brand new Muppets. Is Chris even here right now? By the way,
thank God.
I think Chris has gone Hollywood.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he stops in every once in a while to check in with the little people.
Yeah,
but
it's nice. All right, number 3.
Cut number 3.
I don't plan on going anywhere, Bob. I got a job to do, and I've never run from anything in my life. Nothing. I don't plan on starting now. So I'll be here. I took too many bullets this year not to be here. So I'll be here. And we'll be back knocking on the door to win a championship. I'm going to make damn sure of that. And I'm going to get the help of my people, my team, my support. And hope I do a better job of handling all the other things.
Sound like a character in a movie.
I was going to say Tom Izzo's voice in mid-season form.
Yeah. H to the Izzo.
H to the Izzo, not going anywhere. He signs that Moxie.
Yeah.
Moxie getting to you.
5-year deal. He's 67. He'll be a Sparty for life.
Yeah, he will be a Sparty for life. Tom Izzo, does Tom Izzo have a chance to get on the college basketball Mount Rushmore, or is that Krzyzewski and Wooden, obviously, 1-2. But then now you're getting into, Krzyzewski, Wooden, Dean Smith. There's only one spot. Tom Izzo can't get there, right?
Could Dean be replaced? I'm just saying that as an open-ended.
I don't think so.
Like all-time wins, like. I don't know where.
I mean, Wooden ain't going anywhere. Krzyzewski's not going anywhere.
Boeheim needs more championships.
I think he would be on I think Tom Izzo would be on the Mount Rushmore's goatee.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look at me.
Right. Hi, how you doing? I'm Mount Submore. Yeah. Hoblet Dodge is on the Mount Rushmore of awesome places to buy a vehicle. Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What is going on, you ask, for Chryslers? Make this the summer event. Hey, Jason just asked. Well, I've got an answer. The best savings of the summer happening right now with up to $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs, or save thousands with an unheard of 2.9% APR for 72 months with up to $10,750 in savings. But being that they are California's #1 Ram truck dealer, of course, that's not it. Savings of up to $7,500 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cabs. You can save thousands with that super low 2.9% APR for 72 months. That's up to $7,000 in savings, and there's 20 to choose from. Come find your perfect new truck today at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center, or search, select, and save through their full inventory at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period, with the FedEx Cup in full swing. Some PGA players get loose on the rival LIV golfers. Oh, there's going to be sunscreen and anger everywhere. It's going to be crazy. Golfer on golfer next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must-watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show. Plus, get exclusive content. Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
Lazenby in Her Majesty's Secret Service this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140 on Sactown Sports 1140.
Time Cop. Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's a good movie.
Is it?
No. It was terrible.
Didn't Van Damme in the 90s do a movie with Rodman?
Gosh, did he?
They did.
There was a stretch.
Like Double Take or something.
No, I think you're right. And I think it was double something. There was a stretch in the 90s. It was right. I'll never forget this. It was the first time I'd moved out of my parents' house. And I lived in one of those Animal House apartments with a couple of friends.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We were all, like, any time a Van Damme movie came out. Like Bloodsport, Lionheart, Time Cop.
The classics.
The classics.
What's the one where he's a janitor for the Pittsburgh Steelers and he has to, not the Steelers, sorry, the Penguins, and he has to save the arena from blowing up with his kids. It's so bad. It's great.
Oh, I think that was later.
Van Damme saves Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, not the fish.
Yeah.
I just remember renting that movie and being like, this is awesome. The janitor is saving the freaking arena from blowing up.
I need to go back because I think in the last 5 years, I think he did a movie where he stars as himself. It's kind of a weird concept, kind of like the Nicolas Cage thing. He stars as himself, but he's like a secret agent or something, but it's really him, but he's been this guy this whole time. I forget the premise, but anyways, welcome back.
Sounds great.
Also, shout out Universal Soldier with him and Dolph Lundgren.
That was a great movie. Now, I mean, listen, none of those movies are great. And now that I think about it, do we still have martial arts based movies? Jackie Chan, I haven't seen anything from him in a while.
Nah.
It was him. It was Van Damme. It was,
close.
Seagal. Who's just become
wow, really? You're gonna leave off the biggest star of them all?
Bruce Lee, of course.
No. Ralph Macchio.
Oh, that's the thing. And I'm talking about full on hardcore martial arts movie, not
same Ralph Macchio,
not like a movie that
the leg
features martial arts. I'm talking like Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon type of stuff, right? Back when, when you were
Enter
a
the
kid,
Dragon's great.
You never watched. I mean, and we all did. We would watch. I'm talking about the Sonny Chiba hardcore martial arts movies, and I feel like that's just a genre that's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone.
What other genres would you like to see come back? 339. We actually have something like that in 3 for.
Let's get another good golf movie. PGA versus LIV, like an actual movie about it.
I'm here for this. I'm here for the feud. Golfers, rich, privileged golfers feuding. Throw in some Saudi Arabia, and we've got ourselves a ball game, folks. The PGA Tour is in the FedEx Cup. This is their time. This is FedEx.
Yes.
This is it. We're in the second round today as we start out the run to the FedEx Cup where I don't know what the first prize is something like 14, 15 million. So it's something crazy. Not LIV crazy,
right?
But, crazy. And the golfers yesterday they were getting loose. We'll start with Rory McIlroy.
Common sense prevailed, and I thought it was the right decision. And now that has happened, I think it just lets us focus on the important stuff, which is the golf, and we can all move forward and not have that sideshow going on for the next few weeks.
Wow, sideshow.
Roar dog, man, that's crazy.
I had a friend that gave this analogy. I thought it was an interesting one about this drama between the two tours. The LIV guys that are basically, bringing up this suit that, hey, wait a minute, we want to be in the FedEx Cup. Right. We want these opportunities. We want this. And I thought the analogy was pretty funny. It's, I don't know, cheating on your spouse.
Yeah.
Which results in a divorce. Oh, but I still want to go on the Hawaii trip.
Yeah. I want to.
That's fun. I want to. I know we're not together, but I'm going on that trip. It's like, okay, wait, which do you want here?
Well, Justin Thomas kind of agrees with you.
You can have your cake, but you don't need to eat it too. And they got their fair share of a large amount of cake. Go eat it on your own means. You don't need to bring it onto our tour.
Wow, sideshow and go eat your cake by yourself
on your own stupid tour.
Wow, that is insane. The shade they're throwing at each other. I hope they just fight.
Who would win?
It's great question. So who would be the number one of the people we know on the LIV tour? Would it be Koepka? Who would be the guy that you would pick from the LIV tour? And oh God, probably Greg Norman. He's Australian. Yeah. Do not screw with Australians ever.
Bryson DeChambeau, the big boy.
He is, but I feel
fake tough guy.
Yeah, I feel like you slap him once. He's like,
really?
Yeah, and then just kind of stop. Like he's like Scott Farkas. You hop on him and you start beating the.
Would Dustin Johnson be sneaky?
Sneaky. Like
he's big.
I could see Dustin Johnson if he lost
like
his
he's
temper.
Pretty chill, and it's like
I would say Bryson DeChambeau is Scott Farkas to Dustin Johnson's Ralphie. And when he loses it, Dustin's going to be beating on him, saying all these swear words, and then his mom's going to roll up, and he's going to start crying, the whole thing. I don't know what to do here. I do know this. Greg Norman said the other day, and it kind of confirmed what we've talked about, which is we haven't, again, this is him talking, and I'm paraphrasing, but we haven't really started yet. We haven't. Next year we're starting. They're hunting and gathering right now. They're creating,
and it's working.
And
buzz,
and it is working, and they have buzz. But like we talked about the other day, the only thing that this tour has done, other than where the money's coming from, the only thing we care about is, they got this guy, they got that guy, they might get that guy. Not one person I've talked to. Not one person. I know a lot of golf fans. You know a lot of golf fans. Mm-hmm. Not one person. I have heard, for example, our dear friend Frank LaRosa, I honestly think he is more passionate about, and I want to speak for him, about the proper use of sunscreen than he is about the LIV Golf Tour.
Yeah.
Like most folks, they're known for stealing golfers right now.
Right.
Nobody's been like, did you see that play between the teams on hole 16 and Saturday? That was amazing.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Right.
But they get a TV contract next year. I really think they need to do away with the stupid. Nobody cares about the teams, dude.
Yeah,
it's not going to work.
No,
it's
they're trying something different. And that's fine, but that's not catching anybody's attention.
I understand the thought process, which is okay. The PGA Tour has this thing down. It's 4 rounds. It's individual. So what we're going to do is we're going to get your individual play, but we're going to try to take some of that Presidents and Ryder Cup action, which is like an alternate form of golf that people are really into. But that's for countries, and that's once every 2 years.
Right.
It's
a different feel then.
No, play a regular. If you want to do the 3 rounds, that's fine too. But I think next year, if it's done right, we're going to have. I mean, a legit thing like, We've got on Saturday, we've got or whatever they're going to do, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, well, Thursday's the start of a PGA Tour event. And now today, it's like having a couple football games on. Oh, you got the PGA over here, whatever that is, and the LIV tournament.
I wonder if, let's fast forward, let's say 5 years, and the LIV Tour is actually thriving. Mm-hmm. And so is the PGA. Both are doing well. Wouldn't it be smart for and I don't know pick a lesser tournament? I don't know if there's a Quicken Loans or
there is
not a major.
Yeah, St. Jude Classic.
Sure, and all of a sudden they go, you know what? We're bringing you together.
Well,
could that happen?
The PGA would have to go for it because here's the thing: the majors are independent. Those are the ones that would do it. U.S. Open,
PGA
Masters,
probably wouldn't allow it, huh?
PGA would 100% not allow it because the PGA, those are their tour events. They have full control. They don't have full control over the majors. They're all independent. So listen, I'll tell you right now, if I'm Greg Norman, if I'm the Saudis, the very next thing I do, I don't even screw around with any players. I fly my plane to Augusta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. I sit down with the rich caucasity of the Masters hierarchy. Yeah. How much is it going to take to ensure? How much is it going to take to ensure that our guys get to play permanently?
Right.
There's a number, and those guys will take it, and that will kneecap the PGA more than anything that's happened because that is the premier tournament in the world. We'll take a break. Speaking of the green of Masters, you got the green of the A's, green of cash, all that. The A's have none. And part of the fallout from that, they release an old friend. We've got that. Plus, we've got a question for you. Who's the guy you'd bring back for one more season with your team? We'll do that next.
You want more Kings coverage? Sactown Sports 1140's giving it to you.
You know, you'll be watching and thinking, man, like, I guess Keegan, he's maybe not as good today. And then you look up and he's got, 12 and 8, and it's, the second quarter, and he is just so calm, so efficient.
I think it's absolutely what Sacramento needs. I think there's this sense that something special is starting to fall into place.
Log on to SactownSports.com for exclusive content. SactownSports.com.
A shot right now.
Call or text at 916-339-1140. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, welcome back. Friday show. Friday Fun and Games at 8:30.
Yeah, I've been feverishly working on that right now in the other room.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what I do back there.
I want to get that segment sponsored.
Yeah.
That's my new focus.
Okay.
Until then, I have elected to do temporary sponsors. Okay. I'm just going to have different sponsors rotate each week, or maybe have the same one every week, until a business out there realizes the opportunity that they are missing and hops on board Friday Fun and Games. Brought to you by, and then we say, hey, brought to you by Moxie. Drink the soda. It's great.
And a little jingle and production and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So today's sponsor, and I'll repeat this again at 8:30, but I think today's sponsor, Friday Fun and Games, our good friend Scott Marsh. Brought to you by Scott Marsh, because you can have people sponsor it.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Scott Marsh.
Let's pick up the bill on that.
Head of KHDK Sales, the voice of UC Davis, all around great guy. And, he's the guy you would actually call or email to sponsor. So it's kind of works both
right.
ways. You see what I'm saying?
Well done.
Yeah, see what I'm doing there. So that's coming up at 8:30. The Oakland A's say goodbye to a good guy, Jed Lowry. Jason, you and I have had a couple opportunities to talk to Jed down at spring training, get to know him a little bit, and really other players, see how the leadership in that clubhouse works. And Jed Lowry for a long time was one of those clubhouse leaders.
Yeah, he's a mystery guy because he's been back so many times to the A's, and every time he comes back, it's like it's a rebirth for him. He plays. He's the guy that, too many times over the years we've said, man, the Kings added this player, and for whatever reason, they weren't good as a Sacramento King. But everywhere else, they were good.
Everywhere else.
Jed Lowry leaves the A's and can't find it. But when he's with Oakland, it's like the best version of himself.
Are there any Kings that have had? We did returns.
Yeah.
Are there Kings that have had 3 stints as players?
I don't think we had one.
We didn't have a triple.
So. We said the third was as a coach would be the only other way. Or broadcaster.
Or broadcaster,
Barnes,
right? Exactly. Jay, you wrote this, and Jason and I were talking during the break. I guess this is one thing we left aside in our meeting, but that's just as well, because I want the audience to understand. You posed an interesting question. I just want to make sure I understand it. So you could bring back any player to play one more season with your favorite team. Now, are we talking?
They have to have played for the team.
Are we talking all time?
No, we're going to go current. They have to be active.
Current right now. So Will Clark. Oh, he's not active.
Right.
Okay, so I can't pick one.
Although he probably could be if he wanted to be.
He probably would do it.
If you could bring back one player right now to play another season, just one more year, I'm going to go with the first one top of my head. I don't know if this is the right move or not. I'd go Isaiah Thomas. They need that third point guard.
That's a good answer.
No offense to any of the third point guards competing right now, but how great would it be to have IT come back? And he's nearing the end, I gotta think.
Yeah, and he's still very near and dear to the fan base's heart.
Yeah,
he was, tweeting about Arco coming down the other day. This place obviously is very special to him.
Yes,
it would be great if he retired as a Sacramento King.
When you went King, I actually thought you were going to say Cousins. Your connection to him.
You're right. And I thought of that.
I thought you were going to say Jack Cooley.
Hey, listen, I'd love to have Cactus Jack back. And I'd love to have DeMarcus back. It's just that I know that I feel like Isaiah Thomas would be more universal. There's a lot of passion back and forth with DeMarcus. Don't get me wrong.
DeMarcus is much more polarized.
Yes. I agree. I think that would be wonderful. And by the way, I mean, no offense to Alex Len, who's our third big? Thank you. No offense really to Alex Len, but I'd rather have DeMarcus than Alex Len.
Yeah, but I don't think DeMarcus wants to, he wants to go somewhere where he's going to play.
I think DeMarcus wants to play.
Yeah.
Wherever.
Jason King.
Or Yankee, or right?
We're going to do all 3 teams, but we're on the Kings right now.
Oh, okay.
Man, who else from the Kings? Did you have another one in mind? I thought you were saying.
I have an obvious answer that both of you are missing.
An obvious one?
An obvious.
Is it because they're a good player or just be fun to have back?
Both.
Does it have to be a player?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, come on, guys.
An obvious
DeMarcus?
No.
Isaiah.
Can I just say it?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yes.
I don't feel like that's in
not the spirit of the question.
I don't feel like it's in the spirit of the question.
I think that's exactly the spirit of the question.
Well, of course, then, yes. And that's the number one answer if we're going like, I thought it was more of like.
It is. I'm just being a jerk.
Jed Lowry.
I know. I am. I'm just being
Fields.
Buddy.
No. He got the knife out.
Wow, Jesus.
What if it was, and I don't even know what this means.
Law right now.
What if it was the best version of Buddy?
What is the best?
I don't know what that is.
Well, 8 threes a game with no turnovers.
You know what the best version of Buddy is like his first month with the Pacers. That's probably the best. He was.
We just looked at box scores.
That's true.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
The game, what was perfect was the one against the Kings.
I know.
In Indiana, where he made a bunch of shots and then made just a critical
error.
What do you call them? Buddy fingers?
Buddy bumbles.
Yeah.
He did that at the end of the game that gave the Kings a chance, and the Kings won. Where his game, his stat line was good.
Right.
You're like, you're the reason they lost.
All right, so Tyrese Halliburton is, and then I'm assuming it's Matt Olson for the A's. Is that what we're probably doing?
Chapman.
Well, but isn't Olson doing better than Chapman? Is my
Chapman bats struggled a little bit the last couple years.
Simeon would be a great one. Pretty much half the major leagues, for the A's.
Oh God, I was gonna say yeah. I mean, we're just talking about the recent.
So for the Giants, for me, it'd be Posey.
He's not active,
but I hear you.
No, it needs to be active.
But he retired last year.
Doesn't matter. It's a cop-out answer.
Cop-out answer. Play another year.
Cop-out answer.
You're a cop-out answer.
That's a tough one. Tough judge in there.
Cop-out. You cop.
Jason Yankee.
What?
No, thank you.
Friday.
What?
I said it's Friday.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, see, it's got to be active because I'd always want Jeter. But
what about Greg Nettles?
But
he's still active.
Mattingly.
He's active.
Yeah. Stash Mattingly though. Not.
Yeah. How did he get allowed to do that?
Weren't they allowed to have mustaches? But not
no goatees.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a Giants. There's got to be Pence is and. If it's got to be somebody active, I mean,
they generally get everything out of their players.
Yeah, they milk it all.
You could have Gossman, but are you that connected to him?
No. All right, and then Niners.
Well, I think I know what you were thinking, but I'm not sure.
I'm just going to say it because I know that MC and I both agree on this. And I don't know if it's in a starting situation.
Then I know where you're going.
I say Colin Kaepernick, baby. Bring him back. That's who I'd want. I just want it for the fire is all I want. I want it for the fire. Obviously, I want him to be able to come back anyways, but how great would that be?
The question is, at any point this year, will we be saying Jimmy G?
No.
Maybe.
No.
You guys hate Jimmy G.
I do not.
I don't hate Jimmy G. I don't love him either.
Each of you tell me a good thing about James Garoppolo.
He's handsome.
Well, I did a whole soliloquy yesterday, but I'll say it again. I think he has handled this situation in which he could have 100% at any point come out and been like, I came into this stupid team and they were losers, and then I won like 9 of my first 12. I've taken them to 2 NFC championships in 3 years and a Super Bowl, and they're treating me like butt.
But you don't want him as your quarterback.
Being as a Niner fan?
Yes.
Well, because I think we've hit a ceiling, but I 100%
hit the ceiling.
But you know what? An NFC championship, 2 NFC championship games in a Super Bowl in which they were a quarter away. That's a pretty darn good. That's about as ceiling-y as you can
it's like
get.
he had some really good teammates on both sides of the ball.
He did. But I agree with you. Fully on the table is us regretting. I'm in no storybook mode with that.
I'm gonna say it's not so much a regret of Jimmy G versus will we regret taking Trey Lance and giving up all those picks for him. Not so
you
much.
Don't think those could be combined?
You could, but I think it's disingenuous. Excuse me.
Because you both agree they've got a really good team around
that
position.
Yes. And we both agree he's a average quarterback.
So if they are below average this year, isn't it the quarterback?
It's an indictment more on them taking that gamble on Trey Lance versus not going with Jimmy.
I know we got to go. I just have one question for you.
Okay.
Describe for me the circumstance, if it exists, where at the end of the year, you're saying, I wish we had Jimmy.
He will never do it.
I don't
think you have a circumstance.
I don't have a circumstance.
What if he goes to Cleveland and leads them to the AFC championship?
Then I'm going to point out how great his teammates are.
See, and then you pull out. That's called gaslighting because he said disingenuous.
Gaslighting.
You're swimming in a lake.
Listen,
disingenuous
I'll tell you
lake.
this: if Jimmy puts up monster numbers in a place like Cleveland, I'll give him his due.
Even
and
if he
I'll
doesn't
say,
put up
you know
monster
what?
numbers.
This was the 49ers issue. They should have put a better thing around him.
I'm sorry.
You'll get that from me.
You're boating in the river disingenuous, and you've got
what
paddles. You're just. We'll take a break.
He's using the paddles wrong.
Yeah. This is how you paddle. You don't know. We'll take a break when we come back. Another Field of Dreams game. It was last night. It was absolutely amazing. We'll recap the best moments and also some things they probably should have done differently, but we'll do all that after this.
You ask for more 49ers coverage, and Sactown Sports 1140 listen.
Let's go, Niner gang!
Get all the latest 49ers news and notes online at sacktownsports.com. Plus, make sure to follow us on IG at Sactown1140 for Emil Fragoso's live post-game show following every game.
That is what we expect out of the Niner gang. Niners win!
Your home for the most 49ers coverage in Sacramento. Sactown Sports 1140. HTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. We are the home for the Kings, Raiders, the NFL, and the A's. It's Sactown Sports 1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh, yeah. Field of Dreams. And this music goes perfectly with it.
Yeah, it does.
The Field of Dreams game was last night. I did not watch the whole thing. I watched a good portion of it.
Such a cool setting.
Aesthetically gorgeous. You know, there are, and that actually would be a fun topic on its own. Like, what are the most aesthetically pleasing sporting events? Masters, I think, and Augusta in spring. Notre Dame football in the fall. You've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Fenway or Wrigley.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be Yankee Stadium for sure, but Fenway or Wrigley. I don't know what the basketball equivalent would be. Oh, obviously Golden One.
Of course.
But
people would say Madison Square Garden.
You know what? You're
right.
Right.
Or not.
You're right. You're right. That's
on history.
That's
and
what would win. You're correct. And I think what baseball, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, what was so right about that is everything that they, other than, you know, promoting their players, they should be doing, which is embracing what baseball has that the other two sports don't even have, which nothing has the backbone in history, good and bad, that baseball has in this country. They embraced it, the throwback unis, the purity of the Field of Dreams tie-in, and the cornfields in the background. It just broke down base, and it doesn't even matter who's playing. But I love the fact that those were the two teams playing. It does not matter. It was the purity, and I guess the word I'm looking for, Jason, is it was the romance of baseball on full display.
Yeah, and even like when they would show the big picture over the top, and what did it seat? 8,000?
Something like that.
It just felt smaller. The different uniforms made it feel almost like minor leagues, but you know you're watching Major League Baseball. And then the cornfields. I mean, it just
cornfields.
It just does it in the way they did it last year, where players and even special guests would walk through. I remember last year Kevin Costner did. They had more of the same yesterday.
He should do it every year.
You know, first pitch was Fergie Jenkins to Johnny Bench. I mean,
unbelievable.
Okay,
you're embracing your history.
Yes,
and it's on display, and you've got fathers and sons and fathers and daughters and mothers and sons and mothers and daughters and grandpas and grandmas, and it's just the family line.
Yeah, but the cool part is it was definitely acknowledging the history. The sport leans old, but it felt cool. I don't know, maybe it didn't cool. To younger. But it just felt different, even though it's older. You know, everything they were doing was about the past, but it did have a fresh look to it.
You know, it is old, Jason. I think there's a deeper psychology here, which is this: baseball is an older person's game. It's an adult game, if you will. They say, right? But what do kids want? Kids, deep down, I think, almost always, they want to do what their parents are doing. They want to be into what they want to be a grown-up. They're not a little kid. They're a grown-up. And I can like that, and I can get into that. No, as they get older and past the, you know, baby, toddler, youngster phases, they get, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that's why for a lot of us, when you look back, what was your golden era of baseball? It generally revolves around 12 years old-ish in that area, plus or minus a couple of years. And I truly think that that's the coming of age for a lot of kids, where we finally were able to truly understand for the first time what our dads or moms or grandpas were into. And it opens up that world. And now we're into it. We can get it. I think the NBA and NFL are much easier to grasp. Not that they're not more complicated. Obviously, read an NFL playbook. I'm not saying anything about that, but I'm talking about just the pace of the game is far more predicated to a more mature crowd. And I think when you're 12, that's the first time you start, because you remember when you were 12, 13.
Absolutely.
That's everybody's golden age in baseball.
Yeah.
They did a lot of things. We talked about the throwbacks of cornfields, even John Smoltz in the old school.
Yeah.
That was so cool what they did. But then to start everything out, you had the whole thing, really the through line to the movie Field of Dreams is the relationship between a father and the son.
Yes.
And whether you're a dad or a mom, a son or a daughter, I think everybody can relate. And they did something very cool with Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr.
Hey, Dad. You want to have a catch?
I'd like that.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, and that's all I wanted to. That's all I wanted to get to, because the rest of this is
They're playing catch.
the rest of this is audio.
Yeah,
or visual, I should say.
I'm still gonna watch it and keep the music going.
Because you keep it lower.
Sorry. It's a tear to my eye.
Oh, it's just ow.
Junior's my favorite.
So
of all time.
describe what's going on here. They're playing catch.
They're in the outfield. The Griffeys are playing catch. There's kids out there playing catch together with their dads. I think there's some moms out there. Oh, man.
So a couple of notes.
Yeah.
And
10-year-old me, boy.
You and I are on the same page with one of them. Senior drops the first
one.
Throw.
And the way
guys,
the way the camera angle went, I heard the live, and I went,
oh.
But we were kind of behind with almost like the sun, not the sun,
right?
The actual
sun
in the sky. And I went, wait, did he drop it?
Yeah.
And then you see him bend down. I go, oh, he did drop it.
We're not blaming Senior.
You are, though.
He's Senior. We're just saying,
yeah. And that's what the crowd is.
God, Senior's got to be approaching his 80s, right?
But it's also part of the mortality. The older,
I take that back. He's in his 70s.
You celebrate the older you get, and maybe Dad doesn't have the same pop. Remember, in Field of Dreams, it was a young John Kinsella. It wasn't an older one.
Right.
So that's number one. Number two, I think there was one thing that I really had a problem with that whole scene, and it's so easily correctable. How do you not have the Griffeys in throwback uniforms?
Oh,
they probably didn't want to wear them.
Okay, then don't use them. I'm serious.
Nah.
No.
Sorry, they get to veto whatever they want.
Ken Griffey Jr. rolling out
in a pilot's uniform,
in a t-shirt, right? In a t-shirt and jeans or whatever he was wearing for that whole scene.
Yeah, did he have anything Seattle in there?
I don't think so.
I know Senior had this.
Right? Yeah, the Reds exactly. Like, listen. First off, I don't buy that they wouldn't have done.
So you want them in throwback Mariners jerseys like it's 1990?
I would say either throwback Mariners jerseys, like for
no, they have
to
wear Mariners jerseys because they played together.
I understand that, but I could also see Senior wearing a Reds jersey. Like, I either way, put him in Mariners jersey. I don't care. And you gotta have Junior in the backwards hat and the throwback. Okay, you come out. It's theater of the mind. You come out and you're in a t-shirt.
You're
and
angry
jeans.
about
I
this.
actually was a little pissed because that's an unforced error. That's an obvious unforced error.
The next time they do this, and God willing,
yeah.
I thought another one that'd be really cool, especially because his father is no longer here, would be if somehow we got Barry and Willie out there together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. God willing, to be able to do it in some sort of capacity, not necessarily to play catch, but just together.
But I think you could, I think the Boones are still around, right? Isn't Dad Boone?
You have the Boones. What about Papa Ripken? Obviously, Billy and Cal are still around.
I don't think he's with us.
I don't think Cal's seniors. I don't think Cal's been here
for a long time. If
while.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's been dead 23 years.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But here's the other thing. You could bring out Cal Ripken and his son.
And Billy.
It doesn't necessarily have to be.
What about the Canseco twins? Ozzy and Jose sharing a catch would be epic, although I think they hate each other.
Dusty and Darren Baker.
That's a good one.
There's a billion,
especially with Darren in the league now.
Absolutely, you could come up with a bunch of combos, but can we put them in throwbacks, please?
Oh,
it just defeats the whole thing. Imagine you're watching Field of Dreams and the late great Ray Liotta comes out in a Goodfellas outfit. You're like, wait, well, no, that doesn't fit. I mean, it fits, but you know what I'm saying? It doesn't fit.
Also, R.I.P. Ray Liotta.
That's why I said the late great Ray Liotta. Like you have to stick with it. So that was one thing that, anyways, that's a nitpick.
Point of contention.
Hey, come on. I mean, just so easy. Ken Griffey's coming out in a whatever.
But it's also very junior. That's kind of just always been him.
That's why you have the throwback wool cap on backwards.
Also, Ken Griffey Jr. at this age has been so fun to watch. He's just always out now at MLB events with his camera taking pictures.
Yeah, is he?
You notice that about him?
Yeah, home run derby. He was there.
I think he's just taking up photography and now just shows up to take pictures. It's awesome. He has no worries.
You know, the other thing I like about this, as a matter of fact, I don't know if he's going to be this year. For the last 4 years, this little tournament I go to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to this
Monday.
weekend.
Yeah.
He's always there, right? And I say this with all love and respect because I love it. Ken's put on a couple, and he's cool with it. He's living his best dad life now, and it's amazing to see him up close. And he's like kind of a little rounder, almost like a little taller. Like, I'm a dad, he's got a dad bod. He's embraced it. And then every time I see him, I have this flash of the kid,
the sweet swing,
fielding fly balls with his hat backwards. And then you flash forward, and it's just and that's what baseball is about. It's about those generations, and that they really did a great job in capturing that last night. Oh, by the way, the Cubs beat the Reds. Something Wilt Chamberlain did that LeBron may be able to match, maybe. And fantasy football drafting is coming around. Dave Richard will join us, we hope, I think, again this year. I know we're still negotiating, but when you're drafting, do you have morals clauses? I'm talking about Deshaun Watson, for example. Do you have morals clauses in fantasy football? What does that even mean? 3 for Madness is next.
The start of the NFL season is upon us, and Sactown Sports 1140 has all your coverage.
Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and of course, all the NFL action every Sunday.
Your home for the NFL all season long. Sactown Sports 1140.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Flex. It's a better way to watch. Well, a special day at the Coliseum on Sunday for the A's annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and a special nod to the ball club for including presenters this year. A's luminaries down on the field like Ricky and Reggie and Dave Stewart and Vida Blue. As the great Vince Scully used to say, in baseball, we knit it all together. Quite a tradition at the Coliseum. Ken Korak to tell you there's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there are a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest reliable network, the protection of security edge, and a reliable 5G network powering your mobile devices. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Log on to business.comcast.com for technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
Danny in Chula Vista brings up a great point.
No, he doesn't.
Ken Griffey Jr. played for the Reds.
He did.
So did Senior. So forget the Mariners.
Yeah.
Why do we have any love for Seattle? Remember they tried to take
It's
the basketball
not about
team.
Seattle. It's simply they played together on the Mariners. They did not play together on the Reds.
They hit back-to-back home runs.
I saw that.
You were
I was
there?
there.
Wow. Good for you.
Little known fact about me. Spent a lot of time in Seattle at 4.
You're here now. 3 for Madness. Next.
Next or now?
Now.
Next. Now.
Coming up.
Now.
Wilt Chamberlain, you may have heard of him.
I have.
Heard of him.
Slept with 40 women in his life.
Yes.
Is the only NBA player to have his jersey retired with 3 different teams. Will LeBron, Kawhi, or KD have a chance at the same feat?
All right. KD will not.
Because of Brooklyn?
Brooklyn's not retiring his jersey. I don't
The Warriors?
I don't think the Warriors will. I don't. As a matter of fact, Oklahoma City will.
Of course.
But that's it. I think.
Depending on what team, if he's traded to, let's say he plays there 4 years and wins a couple titles, he probably gets it retired.
Okay, but
there.
let me ask you something.
So it's not 3, though.
You guys got to lay money down.
Okay.
Over under on KD team jersey retirements is at 1.5.
I'm going to go over.
Who?
I think the Warriors
You think
do
they
it.
will? What did he play there? 3 years?
4 years.
2 titles?
3 trips. No, 4 trips.
No,
to the finals.
3 years.
Is
Right?
it only 3?
Yeah, because they won the title with him in 17, 18, then lost to the Raptors in 19, and he was gone.
Okay.
But 2 finals MVPs. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over on that.
I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma City. Kawhi Leonard. No, because Toronto's not retiring.
Toronto's definitely retiring his number.
No, they're not.
He has won their only title.
I get it.
and was the best player on the team. They're retiring.
What was
his
he there?
number.
2 years? 3
1.
years? What? He was there 1 year.
They're retiring his number.
They're not retiring his number.
They are
playing.
retiring
You think they
his
are?
number, yes.
Oh, you guys are. I can't wait. I can't wait 9.
To me, the Clippers would be the one I'm most sus about.
Yeah. I mean,
as of now,
as of now, there's no way they.
But Spurs are yes.
Spurs are 100%.
I think
yes.
Toronto does.
I think so too.
I mean, listen. Here's where you have a point, because if he did the same thing for the Kings, his number would have already been retired, by the way, and the stadium would have been renamed to like Kawhi, Golden
Kawhi Center.
But okay, LeBron.
Yes,
Yes.
all 3.
Agreed.
Not right now.
No, the Lakers retire his jersey.
Not as of right now.
They do.
No way.
He won a title.
The Lakers won't.
No way right
He's
now.
gonna win the scoring title. He's gonna be donned in a Lakers jersey when he's the scoring champ. He won them a title.
And most importantly, the Lakers like to jump on anything and show, look at us. They'll do it.
They'll want to say, because when you start to look at the greatest players of all time, they've had them all.
Yes, they have.
Basically, Kareem, Magic, LeBron,
Kobe,
Shaq.
Kobe has 2 numbers retired.
Chamberlain.
Yeah. No, they're retiring LeBron's number.
Here's what you got. And by the way, here's the thing. We'll talk about this later with the Bill Russell thing, but number 6, because it's technically retired. That's going to, anyways.
They can retire 23. He wore that his first year there.
Okay.
Wait, I want to go back to one thing on LeBron. Would you think Miami's going to do it?
I do.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between that and the Warriors?
Well, and
with Durant.
LeBron was just there one more year than KD.
It's a fair point, though.
2 titles, 4 years. 2 titles in 3 years.
That's a fair point.
They were the Heatles.
That's a fair point.
Bosch's number's retired there, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, they're definitely retired.
So Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor.
These are Laker retirees.
Yeah, Laker retirees. Sorry. Gail Goodrich, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Shaq, James Worthy, Jerry West, Jamal Wilkes. That's it.
That's it. LeBron's going up there.
Absolutely.
1 title.
Right now.
Well, hold on.
4 All-Star appearances. Jason said he's going to break the Kareem scoring record.
How long has he been there? 3 or 4?
4.
This is going into his
This is going into 5.
This is going into 5th.
So out of his 4 years, he has won a title and missed the playoffs twice.
Yes.
So he has missed the playoffs half the time he's been there.
But won a title's been an All-Star every year.
Won a title.
Like Jason said, and I do believe this is important, he's going to break the scoring record in a Lakers jersey.
He got 80% of that in Cleveland and Miami.
True.
I understand that.
So let me ask you this. If LeBron signed with Sacramento last year and he breaks it, well, okay, Sacramento's bad. They would retire his jersey after he played a game, but he plays for 2 years and he gets a scoring record. Then they retire his jersey.
They win a title.
Whenever that video is, if LeBron hits a 3, a layup, a free throw that breaks the record, that's going to be forever shown, and he's going to be wearing a Lakers jersey.
Okay, knock on wood. LeBron James breaks his ankle in Game 5. He's
wow.
Knock on wood.
Why?
No, I'm just saying. I knocked on wood, dude. It's not going to happen. And he's out for the year. And then he decides to sign with
Put that out there.
Mavericks. Okay, and he breaks a scoring title with the Mavericks.
Different.
He's because you got to remember with the Lakers, he already has 4 years under his belt with the organization,
half of which didn't make the playoffs, which that doesn't happen.
But he won a title. It doesn't matter.
Bubble title. Number 2.
Question 2.
Oh, we're only on question 2. Lord, better story for baseball if the Mariners or the Orioles make the postseason.
I think it's the Mariners
because the drought.
Because
the Orioles
drought,
are so bad.
They have it's and from year to year.
But they've been there in the last 20 years.
They've won they've won a title in the past, and they had the whole. I mean, the Mariners are they're the kings of Major League Baseball.
It's the Mariners, but
I think it's the Mariners.
They've been more competitive, let's say, than the Orioles at least recently.
Has Buck Showalter already won? Wait.
He's with the Mets, but yes.
He's with the Mets.
But yeah, no,
he's really myself because he was with the Orioles.
He was with the Orioles his
Who
last
is the Orioles manager? Fred Don
Ripken.
All right, hold on. Wow, this is great knowledge.
Honestly, just say the first name. I don't even know if we'll get the last name.
Oh, you won't. Brandon
Belt.
Hyde.
Batar.
Oh, duh.
Brandon Hyde is the manager.
Scott Service manages the Mariners, right?
Correct.
Yes.
He services the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Hyde's he's manager of the year, right?
I think, if they get the playoffs, he definitely is in the American League. I'm going to say the Mariners, and here's why. Because if they do make it, it's going to be like a festival in Seattle. So you're going to see all those like fun 90s Mariners come out of the woodwork. and they'll display, like, you're going to see Edgar and Buhner and Griffey. They'll probably have Unit out there. Who else? Tino Martinez.
He's a Yankee.
I think a fun game to
He's
play.
a Yankeer.
Here's a fun game to play, and I want to admit, because I'm putting you guys on the spot, that I would lose. Over under combined for the both of you. I'm gonna set the over under at 2.5. Name Orioles.
Damn it, they just traded Trey Mancini.
I would have gotten.
Was Chris Davis still on the roster?
No.
Damn it.
I would have gotten one. Just so you know, I would have got one. I would have got one guy. And only because
Adley Rutschman, the catcher.
That's who I would have gotten. Yep, because he was a big
Cedric Mullins.
Cedric Mullins. Jason
Also won it.
carries Jay Mars over the finish line. Jay Mars knows every roster. I honestly,
baseballingly speaking, I haven't paid much attention to the Orioles.
Point is, nobody knows who Rudned Odor is on that team.
But here's one for you.
Ryan Mountcastle.
I can name former Orioles.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Name Orioles of the 80s.
Brady was 90s. Right?
Okay, 80s and 90s.
Okay, Brady Anderson, Cal Ripken Jr., Mike Messina,
Palmeiro,
Eric Greg
Davis.
Swindell, maybe.
Doug Drabeck pitched for them for a little bit.
Doug Drabeck. We don't mention him enough.
Yeah.
we really don't.
don't.
Pittsburgh Pirates. Doug Drabeck was a bucket.
Oh, they had Scott Erickson for a long
Murray.
time.
My goodness, how we go that long without Eddie Murray?
Billy Ripken.
Don Baylor.
See, but
Eddie Murray.
we could do it.
Will Clark was an Oriole.
He was an Oriole. Brett Saberhagen. No.
Now you're just throwing out names. Armando Benitez.
That's right. Mark McGuire.
Who was the closer? Armando Benitez was the setup man. Who was the closer?
No, I think he was the closer.
Yeah, I thought he was.
I
too.
think he evolved into the closer.
Yeah. Ben McDonald.
Ben McDonald.
Yeah.
We don't talk about him enough.
We don't. LSU, one sideburn, mustard sardines in the dugout. No.
Jason McDonald used to play for the A's and Elk Grove High School alum.
So Todd Van Poppel.
That's true.
There's another draft.
Remember how great Todd Van Poppel was supposed to be?
Todd Zeal.
Dodger legend.
No,
Todd
like
Benzinger.
Todd Benzinger. That Todd Zeal is like the Chris Szabo of Zeals. Like he's just that level of like he was good.
Everyone knew who Todd Zeal was, but you're right. He was never an all-star.
No.
And this guy was an all-star for his rookie year. Wally Joyner was kind of like that.
Wally Joyner.
Steve Finley.
Oh my god. You know what? Todd Zeal is the Chris Szabo of Brett Butler's. He really is. That is a great grouping. And we're way late for number 3. We're having too much fun here.
Question 3.
Do you have any sort of morals clause when you draft your fantasy football teams? For example, would you draft Deshaun Watson and or other players with off-field issues, or do you just want to win your damn league?
Okay, so I will use a baseball analogy here. Tie goes to the runner. The only morals clause that pops in my head with fantasy football is if it's a team I like or if the player is playing for a team I hate and it's between like two players, tie goes to the runner. I'll take the player who plays for the Niners.
Sure.
Or tie goes to the runner. I'll take the player that's not the player I hate to root for.
Yeah. But do you think about any of this stuff, like what happens with Deshaun Watson or I don't know, a few years ago, Ezekiel Elliott or,
Listen, I'm just going to be honest, man.
Trying to win money.
If Deshaun Watson was playing this entire season and it was I wouldn't put him in there's a legit on-field warrior. The guy's been out for a year.
Right.
It's a new team, blah, 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 blah.
But if you draft him as one of your quarterbacks and he's playing great, he's starting for you.
I'm not even thinking about it, and nobody else is either. Yeah. And if you're thinking about it, then you're a better person. Yeah. Not doing. I want to win money.
Right. We have one of the guys in one of my leagues that's very much like that.
I
just won't draft. Yeah, I just will not draft him because of this. I'm like, okay, well, I will.
Me. That's no problem.
Yeah.
When it comes to, I just want to make the money.
Right.
If the Live Radio Network comes around and offers us, I'm signing up. Doesn't matter. Don't care. I just want give me the money.
But you won't end up in the rankings.
Won't end up in the rank.
You can't be number 12.
Sactown Sports playoffs at the end of the year.
How sad is this? I would go to the Live Radio Network, but if I got a job offer in LA, not doing it. Not going. We'll take a break. I'm not going. No, I'm not covering LA teams for a living. I'd rather watch my mom shower than cover LA teams for a living.
Wow.
Bet you wouldn't.
You could visit your daughter while she's in UCLA.
That's a low blow, bro. The 6 will never be worn again in the NBA. Well, technically, we'll get into that. It's a fitting tribute to the great Bill Russell. Some players get grandfathered in. We'll break all that down and how it affects or doesn't affect the Kings. News.
You want more Kings coverage?
Sactown Sports 1140's giving it to you.
I like the Monk deal a lot. The Kevin Huerter one, you got control of a guy who, around the league, people still think he's a pretty good player.
Impressions, let's start with the Kings' top pick, Keegan Murray. What do you think of him? And you obviously knew him well at Iowa.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. I called efficient and versatile. He's going to make shots. He's an elite jump shooter.
Log on to SactownSports.com for exclusive content.
SactownSports.com.
From Carmichael.
How popular do you want to be?
Meets a Celtics broadcasting legend.
Celtics are going to go for the win. Everybody here at Golden One Center on their feet.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Wow. Imagine not being in your seat when the segment starts.
Who is ringing that bell like Hector Salamanca? It's a Better Call Saul Breaking Bad reference.
Yeah, I got to start that.
You seen Breaking Bad, right?
Love it.
Okay, you remember the old guy ringing the damn bell in the cartel?
Oh.
Who's doing that down there? It's really obnoxious.
It's gotta be Tom.
100% it's Tom.
We know it's not Cody.
You want to find out? I say, okay, Jason, who do you say? Tom? I say Tom. Jay?
Tom.
All right. When you get a second, ask him. I want to see if we're I think we're all right.
I'll head out.
1-800-920-1140. 339-1140. We got a lot to get to here the rest of the program. Chris is in the YouTube chat.
There he is.
Just long enough to say, quote, I wonder if Dave can imagine asking somebody on their show and then not asking them to be on their show also. I'm always inviting Dave to come on my show, but he never does, and he never asks me to come on to his show. I wonder if he knows how that feels. All right, well, it's official. Chris, I'm never going on your show. Ever. I would rather paper cut every in between every toe and then dip my feet in rubbing alcohol and then do my show. Never gonna happen. I can't do guilt. Sorry. Can't do it.
When it breaks, we have it first.
Here we go.
Sactown Sports 1140. Breaking news.
I have returned from the KNCI studios to uncover the answer to our poll question.
Wondering who was ringing the bell.
Like a mad person.
Like a mad person. Oh, by the way, update on that here.
Cody looks at me disgustingly for even asking.
Because it was Tom.
Yes.
Of course. Of course. Speaking of maddeningly, who was it that said this on Twitter? Oh, Phil. Says when we're talking about bring back somebody for one more year, they've got to be active.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. My own Giants. I'm just an absolute idiot. Madison Bumgarner. That's 100% the answer. He's
not that good anymore.
You know what? Even if he just comes back and rides in the bullpen.
Well, I'm more so like defending you. I don't think you're an idiot for not thinking.
That's not a big omission.
Yeah, I feel like I'm stupid. Like,
nah.
Maybe as a hitter.
You know what's funny? Yeah, you could DH him.
Yeah,
you could. I and then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, poll update by the way from yesterday. And boy, I've been having a pretty.
Which one was this? Herbert versus Burrow?
Nope, this was who should go on Mount Smoky more. Okay, because we had Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
We had the Bandit.
Yeah.
We had the Bear. And then the question was Smokey from Friday or on top of Old Smokey?
Yes.
75%.
Smokey from Friday.
Smokey from Friday. Man, I thought there'd be a lot more out there for on top of Old Smokey. And by the way, my childhood friend Willie texted me and said, hello, no, and he's got a point. No love for Lil.
Well,
really?
Yeah.
Well, Smokey's been a bigger part of my life than Smokey from Friday.
I don't know.
Hey, little Smokey's 3 times a year.
I've consumed a little Smokey.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a Thanksgiving. It's a Christmas.
It is.
It's like 3 times a year. It's an appetizer. You put them in some barbecue sauce. My wife does this thing. She does jalapenos and grape jelly. Oh, no, wait, that's meatballs. Never mind. But
and that's not my wife.
I'm trying to think. We have this little crock pot that has like 3 little crock pots, and she always does stuff. But she, barbecue sauce and little Smokies.
Okay.
He wants me to move on to important stuff. Would you consider Bill Russell's retirement of the number 6 across the league more important than Little Smokey discussion? Yeah,
debatable.
Well, probably. It's the right move. It's the right move,
and this is more for the totality of what Bill Russell, what he had to go through, what is activism, like everything. Because there's other great players that have not had their.
Well, you wonder when Jerry West passes away, for example, the logo. But I think his retirement is going to be the logo. He was not the player, and he did not go through what Bill Russell did.
And honestly, like most people would say, Jordan is the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
And he helped take the league to another level, but I don't know.
I do think this. I think
it's not Jackie Robinson. It's not Bill Russell.
But listen, Bill didn't go through, and I know we're getting into sticky territory here. You can't make a direct comparison between Bill Russell and Jackie Robinson, other than they're both people of color who went through tons of struggle. But I know that like Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in baseball. But I don't think because Bill Russell didn't break the color barrier diminishes the insane things he had to go through.
Absolutely.
So you then
especially in that city,
right? Especially exactly. So when you put it in that context, you're talking about 2 great players, and I don't even want to do the comparison thing. It's just the only reason I'm bringing that up is because Jackie's number is retired throughout baseball. Right. And in Bill's case, I think he every bit matches that type of legacy, that type of importance, both on and off the field, the court, to where he deserves that. Now, some retired 6s in the NBA, obviously Bill and Boston.
Yeah, which by the way, 6 isn't a commonly used, partly for the referees because of fouls. you generally want to do a 1 signal and another number below 5. Generally.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, usually your numbers aren't 27,
That's
28,
true.
29. It's
yeah, you're generally going to keep it. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I never really even
like
thought
when our
about that.
test was 93. That was
unique.
Annoying. You had to get approval.
Yeah. Well, but it's wrong. I mean, come on. 0-0 is just 2 fists, right? Is that how they would do it, or would they would do like eyes or something? The right to 0.
Yes.
I imagine it'd be the fists. Let's see, Walter Davis in Phoenix, Dr. J.
Yes,
Dr. J in Philly, the little general, Avery Johnson.
See, that surprised me a little bit.
That kind of surprises me.
That's why Kawhi and LeBron are getting their jersey retired.
You're kind of bringing me around to that, to be honest with you. And Sacramento and Orlando for the 6th person. How has that not happened yet? By the way,
I know. Exactly.
How are we not doing 6th person?
Right.
Yet? Okay. Anyways,
that's it in the whole league.
That's it.
Yeah.
LeBron will be grandfathered in apparently, but you know what? Okay, so he's going to be grandfathered in. I'm going to make a quick prediction here. I don't think LeBron wears number 6 next year. I think there's first off, out of a salute to Bill Russell from LeBron. That's number 1. Number 2, and I don't want to be too, I don't want to assume disingenuity here, but also real easy way to sell a lot more jerseys.
Yes.
Real easy way to sell. If he were to, for example, go back to 20, can he go back to 23?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any Laker retired. I don't think there are any.
Well, it was his, right?
No, I'm saying for the Lakers, though.
Did he switch there?
No, I think he started it with 6, didn't he? But I'm trying to think. There was no other Laker retired. We just looked at him. I don't think there was another 23 that retired. Anyways, but I could absolutely see that. It's a win-win for everyone there as well. So
I think you're right. The right thing for the league to do, though.
I think it is too. And I don't think. First off, it's probably a good idea when nobody's going to oppose it.
Right.
No, I don't think there's any hot take out there. You can't retire his jersey. What is this? No, of course you retire his jersey because Bill Russell not only obviously meant a ton to the Celtics, and I want to say the city of Boston. I'm going to say the city of Boston because I got to say that, oh God, it sounds like I'm about to defend Boston from blatant racism. That's not where I'm going.
Hottest of takes.
I think that we can all understand. No, we all know about and have read about, and if you haven't, you should, the struggles that Bill Russell and others went through in Boston. I do sometimes feel bad, though, for the Bostonians that are like, yeah, and it sucked, and I hate it, and I hate getting grouped in with it, and that are actually like good people and loved Bill and loved everybody and weren't blatant racists and all that. So hat tip to those folks, but that doesn't take away from what everybody went through.
I wonder if in Boston, too, do they have to do like because I'm assuming 6 in every arena is going to be signified.
Yes.
They've already retired his number, but do they have like a separate
thing
just as a league-wide?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Honor him and all that too. And I also wonder if it wouldn't surprise me if you saw every jersey this year with a little 6 on it or his initials or something there as well. We will take a break. Hey, David Aldridge, he's a pretty important basketball writer. David Aldridge put out his all-improved NBA team list, and the Kings are on it. But where are they? Oh, we'll tell you next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is your home of the Las Vegas Raiders for the 2022 NFL season.
Tune your dial to 1140 for all Raiders games.
Plus, you can listen online at sacktownsports.com and on the Sactown Sports 1140 app. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
The only local sports show in the morning.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back. 1-800-920-1143-39 1140. David Aldridge, longtime NBA writer. David Aldridge in the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like if he's not, he will be. Certainly, I don't know if Peter Gammons is the right comparison. He may not be there yet, but certainly
a long time.
Yeah, he's certainly in the convo. I mean, he was awarded the Kurt Gowdy Media Award by the Basketball Hall of Fame.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
So yeah, some version of that.
He has his all-improved NBA teams. The Kings are there.
Yep.
They're sixth. Number 6. They are the 6th most improved team in the NBA, according to David Aldridge. Here's what he says. Well, right away, the first 4 words I have an issue with.
Yes, I saw that too. I'm like,
it
just labels get thrown to teams, and then this is the one that right now is on the Kings.
In win now mode, I mean, that's just a narrative that's gonna. It's not so much that I'm arguing against them being in win now mode. I think when you miss 16 straight playoffs, I think when you have the pressure from the fans, from the ownership, from everybody, but where I take an issue is that people know, they know they're in win now mode is like, we got to win at all costs. We're sacrificing. If they were in win now mode, I don't think the draft pick goes for Kevin Herter. I think 4 draft picks go to Brooklyn for Ben Simmons or whomever, or they make a move for Kevin Durant, and just you're sacrificing the future there. And Tyrese Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis, as much as people want to say it's a win now move, you're also talking about the guys that are what, 2 years apart?
Yeah, but he's going to be a free agent in 2 years.
I mean, dude. Anyways,
yeah.
in win now mode, with multiple executives nearing the end of their current contracts. That's a fact.
That's true.
The Kings did well multiple executives nearing the end of their contracts as of now. I know I'm nitpicking here, but this isn't necessarily the end. They can get extended is
at
my
any point.
It's not like Monty is
but
leaving.
Haven't.
Right, exactly.
That's just key.
The Kings did well to address their sickly 3-point percentage, 34%, which is 24th in the league. Malik Monk, 39% last year, and Kevin Herter, 39% in Atlanta, are just what the doctor ordered, pumping desperately needed spacing into Sacramento's half-court offense, through which De'Aaron Fox can better maneuver. Ooh, font change. Bringing in both, in particular, Malik Monk, Fox's teammate at Kentucky, should also remove all reason for Fox to become more personally involved at the defensive end. Why does that?
I don't know why those two go hand in hand.
Well,
now, that should be on De'Aaron's agenda anyway.
100% agree.
Irrelevant of whether I hired everybody or signed everybody that was played with him in Kentucky or not.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird connection there. I mean, I hope he's right. Great. The Kings then made the right call for them at number 4 in the draft with Keegan Murray, a wildly productive wing at Iowa who should find plentiful front court minutes in Sacramento with Harrison Barnes. Add Domantas Sabonis in the middle, and a pretty potent offensive group is coming into focus. It will be Mike Brown's job to put some teeth into the squad at the other end. The Kings haven't been in the top half of the league in defensive rating since 05-06.
Wow. Just the top half. Man.
They've only cracked the top 20 once during that stretch. Yeesh. He even writes it out. After all the crap basketball they've endured for more than a decade, Kings fans deserve a playoff run next season, a real one. It's interesting when he puts it in that perspective. For all the crap, first off, we've dealt with crap basketball for 80% of the time the Kings have been here, if not higher, number one. Number two, I don't think that a fan base has actually been through a worse stretch in sports history than this, because not only do you have the 16 years, the record, all that, and some people are like, well, the Mariners or the Padres, But the fact that you also had to deal with 5 years of relocation issues, you add those together. Like, think about the relocation had happened, and they were still inching into the playoffs here and there, and they were like a normal middle-of-the-road team. Not only did they deal with are we in the middle of this historically bad run, but, oh, by the way, we had the relocation to deal with too. So,
well, and that's why, there was a frame, I don't know how long it was kind of acceptable. Hey, at least the team's still here. And then some people got tired of that phrasing. Yeah, they're here. We get it. Like, they didn't go. Well, I still think the reflection on that is important because if the Kings and this stretch continued and they went to Seattle, some people here would be like, good. They're losing.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yep.
But you know what? You're also not watching NBA basketball in person. You're not getting a chance to go to those games. So I don't think you hang your hat on that and just say, like, forever, like, but I still appreciate that they're here. It stinks that they've lost way too many times. There's no denying that. But I think I agree with a lot of the stuff he says here. And basically, out of necessity, they have to improve. If they don't, hey, this streak's going to go to 17 and 18. And I mean, it stinks. I don't want to think about that, but that's what will happen if they don't get better.
MC flew to Illinois and has a message from Chicago Cubs fans saying 108 years is nothing. You're right, Dave. Okay, well, a couple things. First off, multiple finals, i.e. World Series appearances for the Cubs. That's number one. Number two, there was never, ever a threat of the Cubs leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. Number three, the Cubs' overall record, wins and losses, would dwarf what the Kings' overall record, wins and losses has been since they got here 30 plus years ago. Number four, as we've always mentioned, you have the Bears, you have the White Sox, you had the Bulls
with
Jordan.
Yeah.
You have the Blackhawks.
Yep. Northwestern, prominent college.
Very
sports,
much so. And isn't Notre Dame like an hour and a half away? Or I mean, like, it's just not a comparison. It really, I'm not saying what Chicago went through wasn't terrible, horrible, and legendary, but I'm telling you, this is the worst stretch, I think, when you put it all together in sports history. And now a lot of fans are looking for, and there's been, dare I say, some buzz about this team improving. And for guys like you and me, and obviously we're going to say what we think, and we're not going to sugarcoat, and we're not going to purple glasses it. As we get closer to preseason, and as we get into the start of the year, it's going to be very difficult because no one wants to burst any bubbles, but no one wants to lead people on and give false expectations either.
Right.
And I think we're right. Like, anyone who says the Kings are making the playoffs, and anyone who says the Kings aren't making the playoffs, well, okay, that's your take, but this team's on the edge. There's no sure thing either way with them. I personally think the streak continues.
Yeah.
I personally think that, but I don't think they're going to be a dumpster fire.
Right. And they honestly haven't been that in the last 2 to 3 years. Not trying to say it's been great, because that's not the case.
Right.
And maybe that's been part of the problem.
Sure.
They haven't been so awful where the path is clearer cut to, okay, they're going to get the first pick, or odds are they're going to get the first pick. You definitely have to not build around this player. There's been enough little crumbs where you go, I see something in Fox, and I see something in this player, and I see something in that player. But going into the year, it feels like they've got the deepest roster they've had.
Yes, I
with
agree.
Good competition and some good players.
I agree.
A new coach that's got a pretty good resume. That's what it seems like.
That's what it seems like.
Now, again, is that 25 wins? Is that 45 wins? Somewhere in between? Is that an 8 seed? Is that a 10? Is that a 4? You got to play. I mean, right now, they're not predicted to be there.
Yes.
But they've got more things inherently to start the year that look like the makings of a good team. But
yeah, and I think it comes down to which I think we can circle around, Jason. I can take one side or the other all day long. I can take the side of here's why you need to be optimistic. I 100% can, mention a lot of things you just mentioned. Then you go on the other hand, you go, well, okay, they have a max player who's entering his 6th season, who's never been an all-star, and who, basically it was out for 2 months, and then Tyrese Halliburton got traded, and that whole thing happened. You got Domantas Sabonis, 2-time all-star, but in the East. Now he's in the West, and you have Mike Brown, who's never done anything as a head coach without a generational superstar. You have Harrison Barnes, who is, by all numerics, a below average 3. And what I mean by that is when you rank all the threes in the NBA, he ranks below 15. He's by definition a below average player. And then, you add Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter, and you can, and then beyond that, the things that aren't in their control, which is Portland gets Lillard back and they're healthy. They add Shaedon Sharpe, and we don't know what he's going to be, but that was a guy that was rumored to be right in that range at 4, 5, 6, where the Kings were picking. You have, you still have Donovan Mitchell on the Jazz as of right now. I mean, that's my point is like, people are going to be rolling around like they know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I'm going to stress is when we
don't
know what's going to happen, of course, but with the Kings, I think this year might be the most mysterious preseason they've had in a long time. As far as I don't know what type of team they're going to be.
Yeah. When you see the teams that break through, if I look at a couple in the last 2 years, Phoenix a couple years ago, and then Memphis last year.
Yeah.
You could see the beginnings of it the year prior, right? In the bubble, we were like, why is Phoenix even going?
7-0.
7 or 8 games, and then add Chris Paul, and boom, they take off. Okay. The Memphis Grizzlies barely got into that play-in situation a year or 2 years ago, and then now they're the 2 seed last year. But player development, things all started to click. Things like that happen, but that doesn't mean that's happening with the Kings. But you can see the beginning parts of that, the elements that could produce something as great as that, or just somewhere that's maybe not as great, but still makes you as a playoff.
And what you wonder is De'Aaron Fox our Devin Booker, a guy who just kind of did the thing on a bad team, and now he's one of the better players.
With better players around him,
Better players around him, that's absolutely right. The Niners open preseason tonight, the Raiders Sunday. We take a look at both in action next.
Live and past broadcasts of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami.
Interviews, podcasts, and more.
They all live on the Sactown Sports 1140 app. Download the app now in the App Store and Google Play.
Sacramento, KYMX HD2, Sacramento.
Sactown Sports, 1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports, 1140.
If you had asked me this 10 years ago how many concussions I've had, I'd have said 3. And the reason I would have said 3, I thought concussions were when you get knocked out, where you black out for a period of time, you don't know where you are, memory loss, dizzy, a boxer gets knocked out, he tries to get up, his legs rubber. That's a concussion. What we now know is concussions happen all the time. So we're like, you get tackled and your head hits the turf and you see the flashes of light or ringing in your ears, but you're able to play.
Or you get that stinger, that little stinger for 5 or 6 seconds.
That's a concussion. So based on that, thousands had to be, because every time my head hit the turf, there was ringing or stars going, flash bulbs, but I was still able to play. And that's what's kind of frightening about the concussion thing.
That's Kings fan.
Yes.
Former football player as well. Brett Favre.
That's scary.
That is scary. I mean, who knows?
Thousands is probably too much, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Right. I think the point, I agree
it's
with
more
you.
than 3 that he thought.
I think 2 is too much.
Right.
I mean, 1 is too much, but my goodness gracious. I want to bounce around the league real quick here before we get to the Niners. Here's Todd Bowles on kind of a surprise announcement yesterday.
Tom has been excused today. He will be taken anywhere. He'll be back sometime around after Tennessee. He's going to deal with some personal things. This is something we talked about before training camp started. We allotted this time because he wanted to get in and get chemistry with the guys and go through 2 weeks of training camp, knowing he wasn't going to play the first 2 games. He didn't want to take away reps from Blaine and Kyle, and as well as Griff, as far as going into these next 2 games, and it's something he needs to handle. We trust him. We talked about it. It was scheduled way before training camp, and he will not be here until after Tennessee.
That's a new Tampa Bay coach, Todd Bowles, saying Tom Brady will miss a bit to deal with some personal stuff. All you think about when you hear that is, listen, if anybody can miss training camp, it's Tom Brady.
Right.
But you hope everything's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it was planned.
Yeah, and it sounds like everything's fine, but you don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
And, whatever. They're people too. So you hope whatever he's dealing with, it's minor and it's fixable and dealable. Darren Waller, we'll get to the Raiders here real quick. Sunday night football. Nope. Sunday afternoon football. I'll get it right. NFL
When is
Network. Yeah, it's sometime Sunday. Vikings, Raiders at Allegiant in Las Vegas. Yep, Vegas favored by 3.5. Make sure you get your bets in the degenerate preseason betting. Darren Waller talking about the red zone the last few years.
A lot of times in the past couple of years where I felt like I didn't have there wasn't like a clear defined attack in the red zone or like a plan for me specifically. I felt like it was just kind of like, what am I doing sometimes? But now I kind of feel like that's something that's in place with Josh and developing just off of this offseason alone. So it's kind of asking him about how did your role in the red zone come about? That's a big thing. For me, there's no reason why my big ass shouldn't be, dominating in the red zone at all times,
Interesting. Whether he meant to do it or not, boy, is that a shot at your previous regime.
Yeah.
No real plan. We just gotta.
What are we doing?
I'm playing 3 flies up in the end zone. I mean,
which might work for him, but
yeah,
not in general.
Raiders going in. Who has more? Well, let me start with this. Who has more pressure on them this year, the Niners or the Raiders? You got Trey Lance on one side.
I feel like the Niners.
But you have Devontae Adams, you have Josh McDaniels, you have a new GM, you have a whole thing. And by the way, a team that was a touchdown away from beating the AFC champions on the road.
Yeah.
Derek Carr. I've been struggling with this. I started thinking about this last night. I can make an argument for both.
I think the AFC West is brutal.
Yes, I agree.
Really going to be brutal, and a good football team or two they're going to be left out.
Yes.
And that could be the Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs. I mean, it doesn't seem like the Chiefs, but that's going off the past. I mean, every year is a different chapter here. And then Denver thinks they got better, certainly with Russell Wilson. So I just think that division is just so incredibly challenging.
Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers for sure. And now, Russ Wilson.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you pull Russ Wilson into Denver. Now, all of a sudden, that's a thing, but you pulled him out of Seattle. And so the AFC West may have, last few years, the NFC West has been right there as the best division in football. The assumption here is that Seattle is going to take quite the step back. You still have the Rams, Cardinals, and 49ers in there, which you might have if you combined the West, the AFC and NFC West. You got 8 teams there. You could make an argument that at the end of the year, it's quite possible the NFC West will have 3 of 4, maybe 3 of 5, 3 of the 5 top teams. And again, that's no guarantee. But yet overall, the AFC West is going to be better. So
yeah, I think pressure, though, on the night because you made the biggest move between the two teams. I know the Raiders changed coaches, but they went through that last year. And, Jimmy G's been a winner. Now you're going to Trey Lance after making that big trade. I just feel like there's more pressure.
Well, when you have Derek Carr, and he's the worst quarterback in the AFC West.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's a really interesting debate. I really do.
Who do we put him? Russ Wilson? Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert?
I think, again, I'm going to stick with people will say Herbert is better, and he might be.
Yeah.
He needs to make the playoffs.
I agree.
It's only 2 years. His stats are incredible.
But Carr's made the playoffs, twice?
Only twice, too. But, he's done it twice.
And
beat them last year to get there.
I remember right. He's made it twice, but he broke his leg in Texas. Yeah. So, I don't know. Generally the way, maybe this isn't fair because you have an age situation, but also it's like, okay, Vegas calls up San Diego and says, hey, straight across.
LA, you mean?
No. I'm sorry. Yes. God, I got the Vegas right, too.
Yeah.
Vegas calls LA. The Raiders call the Chargers and say, we'll give you Derek Carr straight up for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Chargers don't do that.
But that doesn't necessarily defeat your point, by the way. You got an age situation, all that. Bottom line is, that's a tough division for quarterbacks.
Yes.
The AFC right now is just absolutely dripping with talented quarterbacks. And then we come across the San Francisco 49ers in full. And either way, whether you want to say they have as much or more pressure on them as the Raiders do, I'm going to go to our good friend Dave Richards' page on Twitter because he was looking at some comments today that Kyle Shanahan made. And, of course, he's looking at that from a standpoint of fantasy football, because the Niners, much like Mike Shanahan's Broncos, can be a bit of a challenge when it comes to drafting at the running back position because it's just on that any given Sunday. Now, last year, Elijah Mitchell turns into this workhorse. Nobody had him. You had Raheem Mostert. You had Trey Sermon behind him. Heck, a lot of people probably had Jeff Wilson Jr. ahead of Elijah Mitchell. He quotes Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan's talking about Tyrion Davis-Price and the short yardage situational run game. I thought this was interesting. Ty was real important for us. Having Raheem and Tevin and Breida, it was so nice because when you have something schemed up, the speed they had, it was a house call. You get a little spoiled with that. But it's also when you don't, it's hard to keep running the ball. When you're blocking for 1 yard, it's hard to get free. Elijah was as good as anyone we had at that, and he allowed me to stick with the run because I knew even when we had a bad look, he was still going to get positive yards, which helped our team. But when he would get banged up, we kind of lose that element. That's why we had to use Debo in that way because he ended up being our second most physical runner. That really wasn't the goal to use him in that way. I'd rather use him in a way that we use Raheem and those guys to where we'd have something schemed up. He has the speed to score. So, and I'm continuing the quote here. It's a long quote, but I think it's important. We needed to get a guy who could play like Elijah in case we did lose him, and that's what we saw in Ty, and he's been everything advertised so far. I'll say with everyone, he's still a rookie. There's a lot of good backs on our roster. Trey Sermon's come back, and he's doing a great job and has improved on so many things from last year. Jeff Wilson's the healthiest he's been since 2020. And some of these young guys with Hasty and Mason, they're pushing the group too. We use 4 backs every year we've been here because of injuries. I hope these guys don't get hurt. But if they do, I think we have the depth to still manage having a good run team. That is bad news for fantasy football managers. I think that's wonderful news for Niner fans.
Sure.
Having that depth and having the ability to have those different looks, and also recognizing what they rebuilt up in the draft because of some of the losses they've had.
Yeah, and I know we'll do this closer, probably have Dave on about fantasy, but I wonder how Trey Lance will be like in drafts where people will pick him amongst the quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because there's potential with the weapons to be great, but that's potential.
That is potential.
You know.
And so it also depends on your scoring system.
Yeah, it's true. Well, that's
one of the
very
things
true.
With Trey Lance, there's a lot of leagues that allow bonus points for rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks. You just wonder if I think if we are sitting a few games into the season, and what's really important to me when it comes to Trey Lance, obviously we're all keeping a big eye on those interceptions. You know, generally when you have a young quarterback who's trying to impress, you're forcing things, and that can be an issue.
Right.
But I need to see Trey Lance pushing the ball. Where I think this doesn't work is if Trey's missing reads and we end up seeing him have 8, 9, 10 rushing attempts a game.
Right.
Where he's just defaulting to his legs. That should be the Trey Lance's ability to move the football with his legs. That needs to be the appetizer and far from the main course. Otherwise, I think we're going to have issues.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. We got more NFL notes. And I didn't know, is this a negotiation? I guess it might be, because we've got what Deshaun Watson is reportedly willing to settle on.
So nice of him.
It's nice of Deshaun to do this, and we'll point that out next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friend Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. Shelby, Peter, the whole team over there at refinancewithshelby.com, making it happen. Listen, local lender, a reputation to uphold. With other banks, you're just a number. Why would you possibly want to purchase or refinance from someplace in Southern California or Florida or Texas or Ohio? Why don't you try purchasing or refinancing with local folks that live amongst us, that worry about word of mouth, that know the title companies, that know the appraisers, and if you're trying to purchase, that know the realtors? So when realtors are looking at multiple offers, they say, you know what? I've worked with Shelby before a bunch of times, and I know if you got a pre-approval from him, your deal is going through. They can close a purchase loan in 17 days. That's speed on your side with a local lender. You can compete with cash offers. RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRE number 018644354.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140 on Sactown Sports 1140.
Never knew you were so handy, Jason.
I'm not that. You know, I have known that you live in the front row of life.
You're cute. Inside jokes galore. Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave, Simone behind the glass, taking the baton.
Good morning.
How are ya?
So great. How are you?
I gotta tell you, Simone, you're such a breath of fresh air. And Simone's the one that sends out the birthday emails.
Oh, so clever.
To the station. So yesterday, she sends out an email for my birthday, and listen, I don't want to compare and contrast, but it made me feel, and I'll bet you everyone feels this way, like she went the extra mile.
Always does.
Good morning, everyone. She wrote, under the direction and warmth of the Leo sun, now is the time to celebrate our gifts and talents. One of Bonneville, Sacramento's greatest talents is undoubtedly the one and only Carmichael Dave, beloved by the thousands. That's questionable. Carmichael Dave is truly an indelible treasure to our building, the city of trees and beyond. Please join me in wishing this 916 legend a happy birthday today. And then underneath, attention, while unearthing the seasoned soundboards in the KHK studios last week to usher in the new tech, one of our brave engineers encountered a rarity. Please enjoy this special release limited edition Slam and its It's Photoshop, or is it, of me on a J. Will jersey when he was on the cover. It says, enjoy a white chocolate brownie. As you know, J. Will. Hit the links. You deserve it.
Are you white chocolate, though?
Am I what?
Are you white chocolate?
What are you saying? If I was a Kings player?
Are you more like white tapioca?
White
vanilla.
Why? Because I'm white tapioca because I'm lumpy?
Yes.
Yeah, that might be more accurate. It's just, one of those things.
It's a great cover, though.
It was a great cover.
Oh, it's terrible. Terrible Photoshop.
No, I honestly had to think. I was like, was I on Slam? I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
It was just missing a cigarette.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you, dear, though. That was very, very nice of you.
I like whoever, I forget who had posted or reposted the picture with the brownie.
Yes.
I love that.
There were a few additional.
Yeah, there's like a few people who've done that over the
Remix.
years.
There's been a few Photoshops over the years. So thank you for that. It was a very cool day yesterday. And again, I said at the beginning of the show, thank you to everybody for all the awesome words. And it's always good to have you in the final hour on Fridays.
Of course.
You're looking forward to Friday Fun and Games coming up in about 15.
So excited.
A little nervous. I always get a little
different game today.
Different game.
Yeah, we haven't played this one yet.
Is it Twister? Wow. Because my back hurts. I can't do Twister.
Right hand, blue.
Yep.
Left leg, yellow.
When was the last time you played Twister?
I don't know.
You've never played?
As a kid? No, as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly haven't.
Same. Jay?
Isn't that how it goes? Like
Oh.
when you spin that little.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like 10 or 11. It's been a while.
Simone, you ever play Twister?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Twister's kind of a weird game.
It is weird.
Yeah.
It's like limbo.
The entanglement. Of
Basically, if you're not limber, you can't win.
Yeah.
Like limbo. You do the limbo at a party. I've fallen on the back of my head quite a few times. I just finally give up and duck.
That's
underneath.
a different limbo.
How many parties have you had limbo?
Yeah.
I've never had a limbo party, but I've been to parties where limbo was there.
Are there
Seriously.
limbo themed parties? Is that a thing?
Probably in the
I don't know if
Caribbean.
there's a theme, but you're in the like Caribbean. When all my time in now you got me thinking about like, have I ever been to a limbo party? I've limbo. Oh, you know what? It was in where we had limbo
The
parties?
skating rink?
No, well, yes, and school. We used to do limbo for the last day before Christmas vacation.
Okay. Grade school. So it's just a few years ago.
One quick note, too, before we get, because I really don't want to talk about this, but we have to. I went to my parents' house yesterday. This is the worst moment of my birthday. My parents have pictures, like every parents of, kids and us. And a lot of pictures, me and Lindsay, my sister. One of the pictures they have on there is my mom and dad kissing at the renewal of their vows for their 25th anniversary.
Cool.
Okay. So I looked at the picture. I've seen it many times before. And all of a sudden, like, ding, above my head, I went, oh, God, hold on a second. So my parents were married in 1965. That means their 25th anniversary was in 1990. My father was born in 1943. 1990 minus 43 is 47. I'm the same age as my dad was
in that picture.
Yeah. And oh my God, did it hit me?
Yeah.
Because I remember being at that thing. I remember it clear as day. And I was like, oh my God, they're so old. They're going to die soon. Like, they're so old.
When you're less than like 12, anybody 35 or above is like 7,000 years old.
Ancient.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, well, it's the new 37.
Yeah.
Who looked better at that age, you or your dad?
My dad.
Are you saying that because he's listening?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Deshaun Watson. What a
That's a
crap.
fun segue.
What a stupid- Yeah. Oh, you're there. All right. Deshaun Watson, everybody, is reportedly willing to take an 8-game suspension.
Oh, so he's like, yeah, the league's looking at this. 6, they say isn't enough, but I'll do 8.
Well, we'll add 2 more.
Is that an offer?
Right? They're just going back and forth. Yeah. Listen, this is according to the Associated Press, which is generally very, very accurate. He would be willing to accept an 8-game suspension and a $5 million fine to avoid missing the entire season. Watson is facing a potential year-long ban for sexual misconduct and would agree to a lesser penalty in a settlement, said the person who spoke with condition of anonymity. The big question here is, would the NFL make this compromise? So again, you're looking at the NFL wanting, we know they want a year, and we know that they want to throw a fine in there because of the way Deshaun Watson's contract is. In other words, if the NFL were to win and get a 1-year suspension, the loss of pay for Deshaun Watson would be $1 million, because that's how the Browns negotiated his contract for this year, anticipating a suspension. The NFL wants to increase both the games he's out, and they want to increase the money he's fined. Now, yesterday we talked about this, Jason, and I posted it on Twitter. The compromise I was thinking of, where they retroactively suspend him last year. He already missed all 17 games last year. You add the 6 here, so that's effectively a 23-game suspension. Now, he held himself out. That was a mutual decision, so there's a gray area there. But the way you defeat that is, or help that at least, is you also fine him, not just the 6 games this year, which would amount to about 400 and something grand, but you also fine him the exact amount of his salary last year. So it is a true suspension without pay. And a lot of the reactions were very much the same, which is, no, he deserves more than that. That's way too small, and it's retroactive. And I hear you, but you got to remember, we live in the real world, and what you want and what you think he deserves, an arbitrator has to agree to that. The appeal has to be won. You have to have a middle ground, because there's rules and regulations. Yeah. I'm saying not that I think that's what he deserves. I'm saying I think that's about as close to a maximum punishment that will fly for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, if you think there'll be people, if it is a full season, or to your analogy or a comment, think it would be too small of a.
You're asking, do I think people would say it was too light if they retroactively suspended him and fined him last year plus 6 this year? I already saw it yesterday. The bulk of the responses.
I wonder if some of the, and I'm not questioning their values here on this, like, do they think he should play ever?
I think there's some people that say he should be
like
out
he's
of the league
done
permanently.
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder if that, and if that's your barometer, then that's fine. That's what you think. Like, then there's no amount of games.
We can
kick him out of the league.
We can go no further than the YouTube chat, where MC, who's not prone to hyperbole, thinks that Deshaun deserves prison time. And listen, I'm not disagreeing with what he says, but I do think it's important to note here, in no way defending Deshaun Watson, but again, in the real world, he hasn't been convicted of anything.
Right.
We're talking about suspending and finding a guy that has not been convicted of anything, much like Trevor Bauer, and that is a very slippery slope. Now, I agree, the NFL should be able to go above and beyond. The judge found that there was wrongdoing, and that should be enough for the NFL.
Right.
But you send a guy to prison, send him to prison.
Right.
But convict him. I don't like the idea of there not being chains of events, justice, court of law for everything.
Yeah, and yet tonight he's playing and starting in the league that's likely trying to get him out for at least a year, if not more. But that's back to your point, not proven.
We will take a break. No segue into this other than we feel like we all need a shower after talking about that segment. Friday fun and games coming up next, but in the meantime, I think we all just need to cool off. And hopefully you have an air conditioning system that will allow you to do that. Hi, radio's Carmichael Dave, Slam Magazine cover boy, if you will. I want to talk to you about my good friends at American Energy. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com, where you can see the deal. That's good through August 31st. It's a $2,500 rebate offer from American Energy. Listen, you might be in the middle right now of looking to replace your HVAC system, or that's something in the future for you. You might be getting a high quote. Maybe either way, no matter what quote you get, it's probably going to seem like it's high. Here's the deal. Much like we suggest you do with our good friend Shelby, same thing with my folks at American Energy. If you've got a quote, if you're working with somebody else, shop it. All you got to do is call them locally, 916-520-9990, and say, hey, here's my quote. Here's what they're quoting me for. And it's very simple. They're either going to come back to you and say, we can't beat it. Doubtful. That's about right. Maybe. Or, yeah, we can beat that. And now you just made yourself probably hundreds of dollars. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you spend 5 minutes to possibly make hundreds of dollars? It's just silly. Of course you would. And, oh, by the way, they have a $2,500 rebate. Could you do something with $2,500 and have an HVAC system that's brand new, not just for your air conditioning, but for the winter coming up? Yes, you could.
It worked for me, Dave.
It did work.
American Energy came out to our house Wednesday.
Is that so?
And I did tell him Carmichael Dave sent us.
Did you? Carmichael Dave sent us.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
They're awesome people.
Look at you and I cross-promoting all kinds of sponsors.
Yes.
You can do the same thing Jason did, and I've had American Energy at my house too. Told you about that before, so that's half the show right there. That's participated with American Energy. They do good work. That's why they have an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. 520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross sent you. When we come back, Friday Fun and Games. Don't go away.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must-watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show.
Plus, get exclusive content.
Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
The PGA Tour is back in Napa Valley with the Fortinet Championship. Join us September 15th through the 18th at Silverado Resort and Spa for world-class golf, Napa hospitality, and powerhouse performances by Cole Swindell and One Republic. Secure your tickets now at FortinetChampionship.com.
Need an appliance? Shop the new appliance truckload event at Lowe's, going on now. From refrigerators and ranges to dishwashers and laundry pairs, we have a large selection of appliances from the brands you trust. Plus, get store-wide savings by shopping other in-stock categories. Go to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowes.com to shop the appliance truckload event and find what you need now. While supplies last, valid through 8/17.
When there is trouble in the bedroom, it can hurt more than just your confidence. It can hurt your marriage or dating life. Not knowing if you'll be able to perform at any moment doesn't help either. Pacific Men's Clinic can help. Go to the clinic that specializes in one thing, making your love life the best it can be by solving the problem at its source. Pacific Men's Clinic's non-invasive procedure. It's safe and pain-free. Call 916-545-7577 for your free consultation now. That's 916-545-7577.
If you want to hit the golf ball farther and straighter, the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers you the opportunity to experience the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA Tour professionals. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is an indoor facility that opens onto the driving range so you can see your all-important ball flight. With the advantages of cutting-edge technology and analyzing your ball flight, the Hagen Oaks professional staff will make you a better player. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, or call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Looking for a career change? Coach USA All West has a job for you. Join us for our next hiring event, August 17th from 8 a.m. to 5 at 7701 Wilbur Way in Sacramento. If you already have a commercial license, we're offering a $3,000 hiring bonus. We'll even pay you to get your license. And we're offering diesel mechanics a $5,000 signing bonus if qualified. Walk-ins always welcome anytime Monday through Friday. Great pay and a great place to work. Don't miss our Coach USA All West hiring event, August 17th at 7701 Wilbur Way in Sacramento.
He's the life of the party.
And I'm the life of the party. Every time I show up, life of the party.
His antics in the dorms of UC Davis were legendary.
And he brings his fun and games to the show every Friday.
It's Friday Fun and Games with KH2K's resident party starter, Jason Ross.
Welcome in. Best part of the week. Simone, J. Mars dancing, I think. Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave.
Hi.
Convulsing was the word you were looking for.
I'd like to take a quick 20 seconds here
to recognize Charles in the digital team.
There's a thing going around the station every time I addressed it. My heart was in the right place. I was doing the right thing. I have shouted out Chris Watkins on this show a billion times. I try to go out of my way like I did with you and juggling plates earlier. I try to notice people that don't always get noticed by the audience. We had Emil Fragoso on the program. I was shouting out our digital team. I don't know why I called him, but I called Chris Watkins Charles.
I thought you were going back to the old school with Charles Hamilton.
That's probably how I got it in my head.
And
it was
Jason, as you know, Charles and Chris look dead on each other.
They look nothing alike. So I'm very sorry, Chris. Not that he's asked for an apology. I meant Chris, and shout out Charles. Got a couple strays there. So anyways, Chris Verlod, back off. Thank you. Jason, back to you.
Okay, ready for some Friday Fun and Games, all of y'all?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, this one has a title. It's called No Sights, All Sounds.
Wow. No Sights, All Sounds.
So it's fun with audio.
I love this. And by the way, Friday Fun and Games brought to you by Scott Marsh, KHTK Sales Director. Scott Marsh, always working hard, voice of the UC Davis Aggies. Please contact Scott Marsh for all your advertising needs. Back to you.
Well done. All right, for the three of you, all three of you, here are the categories in No Sights, All Sounds.
Okay.
Dave, you're going to go first.
Okay.
Choose from one of these categories: NFL head coaches, people in sports, quarterbacks, random basketball, random coaches or managers, Sacramento Kings.
Let's go Sacramento Kings.
Oh, loser.
Okay.
You're a loser.
Now, here's how it's going. We're going to do this in like a baseball version. You can get 3 points or 3 outs.
I'm so scary.
All right. Careful. You pick Kings. You're going to get Sacramento Kings. Who
I'm not going to get one.
Is this?
Yeah, I get a little bit more comfort here in Sacramento. Like you said, I've been doing this for a little bit.
Past or present? Sacramento Kings. Either a point or an out. Let's go. Who's your answer?
Can you give me an out? Because I would say past.
Yes. No, but I mean, who is it?
It is Joe Klein.
Okay. You got an out. One out for Dave. That was Corey Joseph.
Corey Joseph.
All right. For a point or an out. Here you go. Number 2.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with us this year is that our young guys are going to play.
Is that Harrison Barnes?
Harrison Barnes for a point.
I got one. The over-under was a half. I got one. It's all fun and games from here on out.
Number 3.
Yeah, I have a lot to offer for any team that I'm on, and it's just being able to put myself out there.
I know this person.
All right, we need an answer. For a point or an out?
Orlando Johnson.
Jabari Parker.
Oh, Jabari Parker.
Yes. Random. Here we go.
I knew the voice.
The way the NBA is going and the kind of style of play you have, you can't really.
Oh, DC, number 13. No.
Doug Christie, number 13?
It's not Doug?
No. 3 outs.
Wait, can you replay that, please? I thought that was Doug.
The way the NBA is going and the kind of style of play you have, you can't really.
Currently on the team.
Who?
Your mama taught you that. Rashawn Holmes.
Rashawn Holmes.
Okay, Dave got a point.
I was so sure it was Doug Christie.
Simone, you go next. NFL head coaches, people in sports, quarterbacks, random basketball.
You know I thrive with the quarterbacks.
All right, here we go. First one.
Hats off to our guys up front and our running backs for establishing a run game early. That helps us out so much. They did a hell of a job.
Wow. No, it's not Cool Joe. No. Burrow. No.
That is not Joe Burrow. 1 out. Here we go.
there.
That
Who
was
was it?
Josh Allen.
That was Josh Allen.
Next one.
What I think, and I'm sure the other guys feel the same way, is I think we could do better. I really do. And I think we have.
Oh, Tom.
Tom Brady for a point. There you go. Here we go. Next one.
I just got to do a better job communicating. I think that's the biggest thing. We have to continue to push forward.
Lamar.
That was Jameis Winston. All right, for a point. Here's what they're either another point or an out. Next one.
We have a lot of confidence in everybody who goes out there. Everybody prepares their tail off during the week. Things to learn from.
That's Lamar.
Yeah.
That is Jalen Hurts.
Oh, I thought it was Lamar too.
3 outs. You and Dave each have a point. Jay Mars. Another Kings category still. Random coaches or managers. Random basketball. One more quarterback category. People in sports or NFL head coaches.
Give me.
It's so stressful.
What? Can you give me the list one more time as well?
NFL head coaches. People in sports. Still one more quarterback list. Random basketball. Random coaches or managers.
Give me random coaches or managers.
Okay, here we go. Jay Mars. Let's go.
Somebody's always gets snubbed. It just kind of looks bad that Johnny and Brandon were.
Oh, Johnny and Brandon.
Johnny and Brandon.
Karate Kid characters as well.
Oh my gosh.
Bill.
Dave Roberts.
Johnson.
Dusty Baker.
That's close.
For an out. Here we go. Number 2.
Dodger.
It goes without saying that to be singled out among so many wonderful coaches in our
Popovich.
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
Correct.
Out of your crack. Wow.
It's a great achievement. Our players deserve all the credit.
Mike Budenholzer.
Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, that's close.
That's 2 outs. Here we go.
He hit a great shot. We put the ball in his hands.
Oh, that is Rick Carlisle.
Wow. Did you know that one?
Can you play it again, please?
He hit a great shot. We put the ball in his hands, and he had a magnificent.
No?
Wow.
I feel like you're cutting these clips off too fast.
No, we're getting enough voice. Who is it?
Coach
He
K.
hit a great shot.
Ah, it's
Put the ball in his hands.
All right. Everybody with 1 after 1 round. Carmichael Dave,
Brutal.
you're next. Want to go back to the second Kings one?
Yeah.
You do?
It's my only chance, and I
Okay.
don't have much of a chance.
All right. Here we go. Let's give you some confidence.
No.
I'll definitely progress a lot, man. I think I'm in a.
The Aaron Fox.
Really,
Thank
Jason?
you. No,
Well-
wait, come on. It's a king.
Okay. Here we go. He chose the category.
I think I could play different positions. Obviously, it depends on who's on the court, who we're playing.
Oh, God.
That's
I know.
Lionel Simmons.
Oh, I absolutely know that voice. Wait, is that Keegan Murray?
That's Keegan Murray.
I didn't think it was Keegan Murray, and then it was Keegan Murray. Wow.
All right.
I'm the greatest
Okay.
ever.
I'm doing great, man. I feel great. Feel 100%.
Oh, my God. Please, I hope I get this. Did he go to Rider University? And does he have the record for most games played for the Kings?
Your guess is Jason Thompson?
Yes.
It is Marvin Bagley.
I feel like he should be deducted 1 point for that guess.
That really sounded. That sounded like Jason Thompson. I was calling my shot on that.
All right. 2 more for you.
Yeah, similarly. Obviously, that's the first thing you hear of. The second you get traded here, how long it's been since you made the playoffs. And
That Kevin Herter?
That's Kevin Herter.
3.
All right. Now, if you get this one, you get all the points.
I get all the points.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a few conversations about how deep our team is. And for us, what's going to help us is that we all have the same.
Can I steal if he doesn't get it?
Sure.
Is that Kent Bazemore?
It is not. What do you say, Jay?
Trevor Ariza.
Really?
Yes.
How did you get that?
How did you get that?
I just know Trevor's cadence.
Okay, but hey,
Wow.
hey, but you don't get all the points. It was
No,
only
but
for
I get
me.
a point.
I feel like he should get a point.
Oh, you get a point. All right, Simone, what do we have left? NFL head coaches, people in sports.
People in sports, please.
People in sports. All right, here we go.
This town and this team means so much to me.
I have
gotta
nothing.
get that.
No, I have
What?
nothing.
Play a little
This
more.
town and this team means so much to me.
Guys, I say this with a
Oh.
smile on my face. I got nothing.
Does it rhyme with Flayton?
Yes.
Does it rhyme with Flayton Flanning?
Yes.
Peyton Manning?
Oh,
wow.
there you go.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Number 2, people in sports.
Each one's different. This one obviously is special to me because
Serena.
Hey, there you go.
In the news.
Next one.
I want to be done before I hit the age of 30. And one of the biggest things is that, I know if I go 3 more.
What's
It's obviously Steve Eiserman. No.
what would be hard on a body by 30?
Well, I can think of a few things.
Wow.
No, I got nothing on that one too.
I don't know.
Anybody? Jay?
Nah.
The great Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
Oh, wow.
All right, here we go.
I didn't hear the bubble.
Whatever my role is, however I can expand that role, I'm going to try to do that. And every day in practice, I'm going to go out there and compete and try to get better as a quarterback and try to.
I give
Oh,
more hints.
I think I know what this is.
I do too.
I think I might.
Can you play it one more time, please?
Whatever my role is, however I can expand that role, I'm going to try to do that. And every day in practice, I'm going to go out there and compete and try to get better as a quarterback and try to figure out.
No, I'm gonna pass it to Jay.
Is it? Oh, do you have a guess?
I think it's Joe Burrow.
Is it Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Really?
No.
It is Timothy Tebow.
That's close.
All right, last one in this category. Here you go, Simone.
If that's the situation, I'm sure it'd be great. If that's how it is, it's that's such is life. If that is indeed what happens, then I'll do the best I can.
I wish it was Tiger, but it's not.
No, you guys. I guess this game is more difficult than I thought.
It's
fun.
Stressful and fun. I'm sweating.
I'll play it for y'all.
If that's the situation, I'm sure it'd be great. Yeah, if that's how it is, it's
got a little bit of time.
it's such as life. If that is indeed what happens, then I'll do the best I can.
You got it?
Yeah. Jay, you have a guess?
Mm-mm.
No, Simone.
Nope.
It is Rafael
on.
Nadal.
Yes, it's Andrew Luck.
Oh, I mean Andrew Luck. Oliver's kid.
Wow.
Hey, wait. Hey, did I win?
I don't know.
I haven't gone.
Oh, yeah, Jay, you get one more.
All right, 1
Wow,
minute, Jay.
I've been shaded
10
this
seconds,
entire
Jay.
show.
We got a break.
Which
Right?
one?
Oh, give me your categories.
NFL head coaches, people in sports.
Random.
I think QB. Random basketball. You want random
Give
basketball?
me random basketball.
I know you do. Oh, this one. Okay. Here you go.
All right, we are at that moment. Everywhere around the country, they're talking about Super Tuesday, and we feel like
George Hill.
No, Dave?
Leonard Hamilton.
we have our own Super Tuesday here in Sacramento.
Kevin Johnson. God,
okay.
you threw me.
All right, here we go.
We are pleased and proud to announce that the Board of Governors of the NBA.
Oh, it's David Stein.
Leave this show if you don't get that one.
I just want to win, and I want to do it the right way.
Magic Johnson.
Do it.
Yes. Two more.
It's hard when you've been through so many battles with players to then just see them go someplace else. You know, what I mean? It's tough. It's tough, and it's the nature of.
Oh,
I know who that is too. I just can't. I can't get it.
LeBron?
No.
Of course it's not.
No,
I don't know. I don't have a guess, but I know who it is.
It's hard when you've been through so many battles with players to then just see them go someplace else. You know, what I mean? It's tough. It's tough, and it's the nature of the business, and we all understand that. At the same time, it's still hard.
I don't have it.
Wait, is that Kobe?
That's Kobe.
That's Kobe.
I knew the voice familiar.
All right, last one. This will be a tough one.
It is still a little bit surreal, and at the same time, it's really exciting. So I'm incredibly excited to get to work and try to add what I can to this team and franchise.
Steve
and,
Nash.
Steve,
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. All right. Wow. Well done, Jason. Again, and everybody playing along on the YouTube chat and on the text line. And I know Scott's listening and playing along. My goodness. Jay is back there dancing. I don't know what that is, but we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got the news, we got the notes, we got the fun, and we got a word from Jason. Our good friends at ACR Solar. We're back in a bit.
You want more Kings coverage? Sactown Sports 1140's giving it to you.
You know, you'll be watching and thinking, man, like, I guess Keegan, he's maybe not as good today. And then you look up and he's got, 12 and 8, and it's, the second quarter, and he is just so calm, so efficient.
I think it's absolutely what Sacramento needs. I think there's this sense that something special is starting to fall into place.
Log on to SactownSports.com for exclusive content. SactownSports.com.
Back to you.
P-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Who's not?
Who?
The Sparks of Los Angeles, California, who are eliminated from playoff contention after their 93-69 loss to the Connecticut Sun last night.
Nice.
The Sparks will miss the playoffs in consecutive seasons for the first time since 1997-98, the first 2 years of the WNBA's existence.
LA basketball is bad.
It is. It's the worst. LA. Stupid. News and notes. Thank you, Jay. Right now, please.
Stand by on this frequency. It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
Hulk Hogan, 69 yesterday.
Yeah.
Jay, this is for you.
Thank you.
His LJN rubber figure.
That sounds dirty.
Produced between 85 and 97. Still in the case. Sealed, they go for $2,000 to $20,000 per.
Yeah, those LJN action figures are definitely sought after by collectors.
Did anybody see Antonio Brown's post yesterday?
I sure did.
I didn't.
What
did I miss?
You didn't?
Red Rocks.
He was asked about his biggest regret in his career. Quote, my biggest regret in my career doesn't involve calling my GM. I don't want to say that out loud. Calling my GM a questionable sort of racially sensitive name.
Got it.
Or showing up to Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with frozen feet. Or throwing rocks at that UPS driver. And it definitely doesn't involve me taking my shirt off and doing a victory lap around the Jet Stadium mid-game while throwing up deuces. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see Antonio Brown play a game live. Sure, I can watch the game afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that. It's like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks.
Same.
I tried. I actually went outside. I looked under a couple of rocks. I checked in that like bottom drawer in my fridge, and I even went into the pots and pans cabinet, and I can't find any hate for that post. I looked for it. I can't hate on it. He's just unique. And is wide receiver like the goofiest position in sports when it comes to personalities?
Clearly.
Right?
The diva label fits.
I mean, Joe Namath wore the fur coat and all that. I get that. But I don't think there's another one that you go, oh, okay, more characters than any other position belong to the wide receiver position. Right?
Yeah, I can't think of one that has more.
I'll let you think about that.
Okay.
What day is today? It's August 12th. What does that mean?
What does it mean?
It's World Elephant Day.
Okay.
You know what? Celebrated just for the elephants. National Vinyl Record Day, Jay. That's good for you.
It's
You
vinyl records.
Vinyl records. It's National Middle Child Day. Anybody a middle child? Anyone of the? Are you a middle child?
Number 2 of 4.
That counts, right? So 2 and 3 would be the middle children. Yeah. Say the middle children are historically what the least adjusted, and whatever. Not Simone's case.
Well, we don't know. We don't know about the other siblings.
That's a great point right there. And then finally, and it's funny that this came up because I do have a question for you guys. It is National Julienne Fries Day. Julienne fries, if you don't
Never
know,
tried them.
They're cut into Julienne.
I thought it was a person. Julienne Fries.
Julienne Fries. Yeah, I used to. I was a third baseman for the Orioles.
Actually, matriarch of the Fries family who owned the chain.
the Fries chain. It's basically matchstick uniform cut, like matchstick thick French fries. Very thin, generally crunchy.
Shoestring.
Shoestring's more of not curly fry, but it's like if a curly fry and a julienne fry had a baby.
Oh, wow.
Right. So was playing, I said celebrated by playing golf with my brother up at the old Club Aroni. And one of the things I love most about this place is their tater tots and their French fries. If any of you have ever eaten at Rowley's, for example, it's that type of, it's like a thicker, not a steak cut, but if a steak cut and a McDonald's French fry had a baby with seasoning on the outside. Well, unbeknownst to me, they changed to julienne fries. And I didn't even know today was julienne day.
Oh.
It was like eating salt sticks. And I don't mind me some salt. Now, because my mother's I love you, Mom, extremely picky and very vocal about what she's picky about. My mom's the one that goes to McDonald's and orders fries with no salt. No, I'm not joking.
What?
Which means they have to make a whole new batch and not salt them.
With no? Okay.
My mom was made for Burger King. Your way, right away. She takes advantage of it. It's that type of deal.
Took the whole slogan seriously. I see.
I know the waiter a little bit up there. We've been there before. I did something I never ever do. I complained, and not in like, hey, she here. It's just like, dude.
Do you have a suggestion box?
That like right. Who changed the fries is what I asked. And I said, well, they just wanted to change it up. Don't mess with perfection. Julienne fries are trash. And I want that to be known on Julienne Fries Day. They're garbage, dude.
Wow.
So if you've never tried them, don't try them. They suck. They're terrible. Celebrity birthdays. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
Clearly. All right. Today, August 12th, celebrating their birthday. Happy birthday. He likes big butts and he cannot lie.
Oh,
Nice.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. My hoopty. Buttermilk biscuits.
How old is he today?
My posse's on Broadway. Sir Mix-a-Lot, I think, is actually 61.
I was going to go 60 flat.
63.
Wow.
59.
I was going to say, I'm screwed.
the winner.
For Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I feel like I'm at a disadvantage when I go first. Because then everybody
Have to go first? You want to
gathers
listen
around.
to you want to reverse the order?
No. It's
I was going to say, actually, going first is an advantage at all.
if you nail it.
Happy birthday to the Tan Man, George Hamilton.
Oh, I think I was talking about Jeff Bissani. George Hamilton is 79 and his skin is 94.
Mm.
I think that, yeah.
George Hamilton's 81.
And I'll go up 90.
He is 83 today.
Whatever, Jay, shut up.
How about because he would be the brother-in-law of Jennifer Lopez now, Casey Affleck.
Oh, Casey Affleck.
Affleck.
Not Ben, but Casey.
I'm going to say Casey Affleck is 41.
44.
Wow, it just got super serious.
Simone.
48.
Oh, 47 is the answer.
Simone with the square
Yes.
circle.
How about All-Star Chris Middleton? Happy birthday. NBA champion.
Chris Middleton just turned 31. Jay?
29.
Simone.
30.
Carmichael Dave, 31. Right on the nose.
I'm the
How
Chris Middleton
about
expert.
Plaxico Burress?
Oh, I'll take a shot. Plaxico Burress is Michigan State's Plaxico Burress is 49.
Plaxico Burress is 42.
No, he's not.
45.
Simone on the nose,
Son of a-
45.
wow.
And let's say happy birthday to former King Dwayne Dedman.
Dwayne Dedman,
96.
USC's Dwayne Dedman. He looks older than he is. Dwayne Dedman is 32.
Dwayne Dedman's 33.
Simone.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. 32, 33. What are you guessing?
I'll go up 37.
J. Mars, Dwayne Dedman is 33, right on the nose. There you go. Happy birthday to one and all.
For Simone, for Jamers, for Jason Ross, I am Carmichael Dave. I will see you Tuesday. The rest of you will be there Monday. Enjoy your weekend. As always, please be safe. We want you all back. Jim Rome is next. Bye-bye now.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem.